solo. Want my love, baby, earn it. Yeah, dancing on my own. See if you can follow. Got me feeling alive. Watch me go. Lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time it's real, real, real. I do what I want. 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 I want. Hear me now. I do what I want. Are you ready now? 'Cause it won't be easy. Only get what you work for. Gotta go all out. Whenever you see me, don't be wasting my time. Watch me go. Lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. 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 Hear me now. Watch me go. Lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. I do what I want.
Good morning. What's new, pussycat? Hello, what's new, pussycats? Happy Monday! Yay, it's Monday. Said nobody ever. Oh, and it's kind of a dreary Monday here in the Sunshine State. But that's okay because it means my office is rather cool and I'm quite enjoying that. So did everybody have a good weekend? What'd you do? I got my office put back together yesterday. I did some cleaning. You know, I did the Monday drudgery on Sunday so that I could come play here with you guys on Monday. Oh goodness. Well, here we are again. Oh shit, let me find my. There we go. I'm like, where's the chat? It's like, dumbass, it's where it always is. You just don't know what you're doing yet. I'm still getting the hang of this 2-monitor situation. I tried to turn up the brightness a little bit on the light so that more of the background shows up because I love that pretty background. Anybody who's here on the regular, can somebody tell me if the background looks a little lighter than it normally does, or that it has the last couple of live streams? Because I won't know until I go watch it on a regular TV. But that was so. Hopefully I got that. Hopefully I got that done. I was busy giving myself a last minute sprinkling of pixie dust. What is this shit? Well, it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, which is a nice way of saying it doesn't work. First couple sprays, maybe. Bath and Body Works. Gingham Gorgeous. Diamond Shimmer Mist. Now, you know, I don't know what would have possessed me to buy this. It does smell quite nice, But I don't ever buy their perfumes, their body sprays, none of that shit because it doesn't last. It's just all alcohol with, a little bit of fragrance. This does smell really nice, but I wanted it. You really can't tell. If I hold up you can kind of see it's shimmery, but not shimmery enough. I need to probably just get like a brush and some kind of glue and just, brush it on me and then throw the diamond dust and walk away and let the dust fall where it will. There was something I used to use by Rihanna that was really good. Fenty. The lipstick is Gloss Bomb, but the thing I used for shimmer, Diamond Bomb, I think it was, but it only comes in at that time, it was only in a compact form. And no, it was loose. That's what it was. It was loose. And, that's a freaking mess. So lots of shimmer, but not enough control over the shimmer because you've got to control your shimmer. Okay. I'm going to say hi to the kids in class and then we're going to get rolling. Y'all, look at what I found when I was cleaning closets the other day. In fact, the price tag is still on it. I've left it back behind my hair. Mainly because I didn't have a pair of scissors. It's one of those big old, it's like a rope that they put the tag on with. How cute is this? It's shimmery. They're like, it's almost like a shrug because it's not very long. But I thought this is one of those things. I bought it and I bought it. Gee, why do you think I bought it? I don't know, because it has those little sequins on it. But I never wore it. And every time I would see it, I'd just be like, oh, that's cute, but not what I'm looking for right now. And I don't know what possessed me yesterday. I came across it. I was going to get rid of it. And I thought, bitch, go try that on. I had a pile of stuff to go. It was either love it or lose it. I gotta say the piles turned out to be 50-50. I'm glad to report. And this is one of those things. Ladies, always try something on. I don't take my own advice, but I'm going to give it to you. Try it on. You know how I try things on? I grab it off the hanger. I find a mirror and I do this. Yeah, that should work. Or I'll hold it to the waistband. Yeah, that should be fine. I mean, if you know what looks good on you and you know what you like and you're realistic about yourself with what size you really are, not what size you really want to be. Sometimes that works out pretty well, but just keep in mind that every sizing is not the same across brands, not even close. It never has been, and it's never going to be, because you can be a size 4 in one brand, like Molly is, like Molly Go Lightly. You can be a size 4 in one brand and then go to another brand, and maybe you can wear a 6 or even up to an 8. It's European sizing, forget it. Anything that's European sized, 30, 32, 34, 36, etc. And that counts for shoes too. Always try it on. They are notorious for having the wonkiest of sizing. Okay. Hey, Heather B. Beachy, how are you? Oh, you're at work, girl? Well, I hope I can provide you some Monday Fun Day entertainment. Hey, Seeker, how are you? Hi, Catherine. Toe Beans, we got 2 people in this chat at work. Well, look at that. And here I thought there were only, about 3 people in this whole community who work, and y'all were not even on my list. So look at that. We got 5 people. I'm just kidding you all. I know that more people work than do not work. Just like Betty. Look at Betty. Betty is the CEO. She's the vice president. She's the president. She's the secretary, the treasurer, the registered agent of doing abso-fucking-lutely nothing but being a menace to society at large and calling it a job. So I guess this is my job. I'm on counterterrorism duties. I try and counter the bullshit that comes out of her mouth. You guys, I'm still laughing over judgely stuff. And if you don't know what judgely stuff is, well, if I had any idea where the timestamp was from my live stream on Saturday, where Betty talked about judgely stuff, she's just got to rely on, have faith that the quote judge will execute his judgely stuff in one of her numerous cases that are going on right now. And when I say cases, I'm not just counting frivolous bullshit lawsuits. I'm counting temporary restraining orders, which, folks, we're at 3 right now. And, well, who knows what number we're going to get up to before this is all said and done. Do y'all like I don't think you can see it very well. No. It's hard to tell, but this, that is Medusa and all her silvery, snaky hair glory. When talking about slithering, slimy reptiles, well, if I should have worn snakeskin shoes too. But instead, I got my stepladder out and I went to the top of the closet because I happened to look up and said, oh, yes, I rarely wear these because they're quite high and they're hard to zip at the back. These are Jimmy Choo booties. And I thought, well, damn, those will look quite lovely with your newly found old shrug. So yeah, Medusa and no snakeskin. Sorry. Maybe next time. What's today? Monday. We're going to make this one a good one, kids, because I have Bob's getting his teeth done tomorrow. So that's going to take up most of the morning. It's highly doubtful, but there's a slight possibility that I could go live tomorrow towards the end of the day. Like I said, not likely. Bob goes in at 9. I think it'll take about 3 hours between the procedure and getting him out of anesthesia. And while he's there, I'm going to go run a bunch of errands in the immediate vicinity that I need to do. Wednesday, I'm going to my girlfriend's house for the night. Thursday, I have a hair appointment. Friday, I have something. So this is it, kids. This is going to be it until Saturday, probably, or Sunday. So let's make it count. Betty, get your helmet and your knee pads, bitch. Gonna need them. As always. Betty, girl, when I saw you in the one we're going to watch today, now don't ask me why. Well, I can kind of tell you why. I sat back and I said, oh my God, she is looking like a whole ass fucking Larry Kudlow. For anyone who may not know, Larry Kudlow is a financial analyst on Fox Business Network. I do believe at one time, was Larry Kudlow president of, I don't think he was running the Treasury. Maybe he was. He's been around a long time. He's old as dirt. Maybe that's why I thought he looked like Betty, because they both look old as dirt. But Larry is totally bald, unlike Betty's. Betty's not officially bald yet, but all this shit is gone. Maybe it's the skin, the way his skin looked. I don't know, but I just looked and thought, damn, did Eileen and Joe Dirt, did they have a baby? And we've got Betty Kudlow? Like, what? I looked to see if I could find a picture for show and tell. I couldn't find the one that inspired the thought. But, feel free to look for yourself. Where was I? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm already off to a slow start, but it's Monday. What can I say? Tobeans, did I say hi? I don't think I did. Hi. Hi, Catherine. How are you? Lindsay, happy Monday, girl. Hey, Clancy, how are ya? Ew. Oh, digging a trench. Ugh. Well, hi, Victoria. How are you? Welcome. Hey, Camry. How are you? Oh, God. Yeah, Clancy, don't get overheated. That's all bad. Heat stroke, that's a real thing and it's bad. Hey, little Irish girl. How are you? Hey, running bear. Mitten Mama. Mitten Mama in the house. Oh, look, you got a new avatar. That's so sweet. Well, hi, Serena from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Welcome. There's a few people that have been known to inhabit the chat from the Netherlands. Kit Brinch, I think is her name. Her screen name. I'm not doxing her. She's from the Netherlands. Andy C 2828. Oh, well, that's very sweet. Oh, Andy, I'm kind of scared of your avatar. What is that, please? Welcome. Yeah, Andy, I need to know what that is. I'm not going to see it. I mean, as you can see, anybody who's new here, I'm sorry. I am very easily distracted by all the shiny stuff everywhere, especially in the chat. I have great intentions. I always say, I'm going to say hi real fast and then we're going to get going. Well, my definition of real fast and yours might be two different things. Why do we still have the lion avatar down here? World Lion Day. Somebody's lying because they told me World Lion Day was on Saturday. I mean, were the flowers I sent not enough? What do you want? There's a empty bottle of Veuve Clicquot to my left. Should I pass that along? Do lions drink champagne? I don't think so. Google, get your shit together, okay? Hey, World Peas, how are you? Now, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? God, I love that name. So clever. God, so many of you guys have the greatest names. Hey, Darcy, how are you? Pineapple, good afternoon. Holla. Blank screen in the house. Krama's undisputed number one troll. Oh, how are you, blank screen? I just read, I was reading through old Sonia's community post for something. Someone sent me a link, wanted me to look at something. Ooh, blank screen. I saw you in there giving her the business. That's good. Somebody should. Hey, be still. Oh, I'm sorry. She's a good Christian woman. Her and Betty seem to have I don't know about Sonia so much, but Betty spews like Betty erupts like Mount Vesuvius every, she can't seem to go more than a few minutes without a fucking meltdown. So, I know. Well, in my mind, Betty's got a different brand of Christianity than a lot of other people do. Betty, I don't think the guy upstairs, who you obviously believe in very much, I don't think he wants perfection, but I think he would like you to be as little of a shitbag as possible on the daily. Betty seems to make it a point to do the exact opposite. Betty, are you sure you don't? They say that there's another church a little further south. That might be the one that you're looking for. Hey, Miss Brittany, how are you? Muffin Mouse, how are you? Jams TV, hell yes. You know what? here's the deal. And I think you're new. Welcome. I don't hate Betty. I don't hate anybody. I don't have enough fucks to give to hate her. But what I do is I like to take the bullshit that she puts out, that a lot of it seems to be just pure fantasy swirling around up here. And I like to take the ignorant, non-thinking woman's offerings and give you the very much thinking woman's counterpoints, sentence by sentence. But no, I don't actually hate her. Hey, Hala, how are you? Two boys, mama. Sweetie cake. Is it still dark back there? The background? You know what? I just adjusted it a little tiny bit. I'll look at it when we're done and I will adjust accordingly. Hey, Mama Bear, how are you? All right, y'all, we're close. We are close. Jams, I have more perfume than I could possibly wear. And yes, I do always put perfume on to come to alive because, hey, it just, I don't know. It's just kind of part of my outfit. Hey, C Nikki, how are you? All right, I'm running. Gma AF, how are you? The good Becca. Where's the bad Becca? I like the bad one too. Hey, it's me, Tiffany. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Huntress, how you doing? Hey, Blank Slate, how are you? Oh my God, where have you been all my life? I love it. That's a fantastic idea. And I have a few of those kabuki brushes. Oh my God, great idea. I will absolutely do that because, oh my God, I am the worst about getting. Sorry, y'all. I just need to take this really quick. I need to look at this message. It's coming in on the bat phone. Okay. Thank you very much. Need the glasses again. Hello, Chopper. How are you? Now, why would you think that? I know. We need to put a trigger warning up. Betty seems to trigger everybody. Now, what oh, hey, JP, how are you? You're working too? Oh my God, we're up to 4 people. I'm working. This is work. Believe me, it takes a lot of work to get this smoke and mirror game on point. Okay. So this is my work. Like I told my husband the other day, honey, my job is being fabulous. And he just said, yeah, I know, dear. Oh my God. Oh, I love that man. Fixing to snap. How are you? You know, like that guy Dave Ramsey used to say when people would say, how are you? And he'd say, better than I deserve. That made me think, oh, God, yeah, that's Mr. Crimes in Fashion. Better than I deserve. Oh, hi, Cynthia. How are you? Kraken? Ooh, release the Kraken. Where did I used to hear that? I don't remember. Hi, Sharon. Oh God, British Columbia. Is it warm there or is it starting to get, what month are we in? August? God, I would hope it would be at least still warm in Canada in August, but I know Canada gets damn cold. Hey, Amethyst, how are you? You're working too? 5. Yes, y'all, I hope you're using headphones because between me and Betty, neither one of us are work friendly for different reasons, of course. Get those AirPods in. I don't want to have to be paying anybody's damn severance pay that they didn't get because they got fired. Oh, Chopper. Okay, there's your avatar. Is that cat on a motorcycle? That's what it looks like. I wish we could make the avatars bigger. Jasmine Lopez. Jasmine works too. Hi, welcome. You're number 6 on the employed list. Congratulations. Oh. Oh, the itching. I'm sure we're going to see more of the itching. I know what I think it is. I'm not going to say what I think it is, but I know what I think it is. You sent Nick. Where's Betty's stream link? Oh, is Betty going off this morning too? Hi, veteran. How are you? Okay, we're going to start with yesterday's, but then we can do today's. Did y'all pack a lunch? You know, it takes me, this is what I've come to figure out. It takes me about 3.5 hours to get through 22 to 28 minutes of Betty. I'm going to try and speed her up a little bit. I should probably try and, well, I don't know how to do this, but I should also speed myself up and slow myself down at the same time. I haven't figured out how to do it. If you can figure it out, please let me know. Hey, Cece, how are you? Oh, a bedroom makeover. Oh, deep cleaning. I've been deep cleaning closets, girl. I feel you. I shouldn't even admit this. You know, those bags you buy at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, you know, the big reusable shopping bags. There are 11 of them filled to the top in my garage, lined up down the side. My husband looked at me and was like, I hope that stuff is leaving. I said, it is. Sometime this week, probably tomorrow. Hey, Wabi Sabi, how are you? Oh my God, we have a new name. Let me see. What is this? Wishful thinking, Betty the New Orange. Oh God, Betty will look like ass in orange. She looks like ass in every color of the rainbow, but orange. Woo! Oh boy. Very clever name. I love it. Liz F, did I say hi to you? Hi. Hello, Sherry P. How are you? I think you might be new. Well, welcome or welcome back. Hi, Remy. How are you? Hey, Joneson. Yes, a slumber party. I have one girlfriend that lives like an hour from me. And whenever we get together, we trade houses. But whenever we get together, I always stay down there because, you know, we usually go to dinner, lunch, have a couple drinks. There's always shopping involved. So I've got a lovely guest room there. It does sound funny, though, to say as a 54-year-old woman that I'm having a sleepover. But it's fun. And it's responsible because I do not drink and drive. Hell, I really don't drink, except YouTube makes me want to indulge. Hey, T-Berry, how are you? Hi, Corinne. Actually, Johnson, I was just listening to you and Chasing and someone else. I don't remember who it was. And I believe the other one was True Crime with Eve. I'm not familiar with her at all. And I actually jotted down just one or two little thoughts that I got from that I wanted to mention. Hey, Stitching, how are you? Hi, Marcy. Okay, we're almost there. Hey, Beer Can, how you doing? Beer Can, I hear Manatee's Most Wanted is back. She's back. Is that what brought all this foul weather into Florida? Did Betty blow in on her broom and actually I would thank her today because it's been so hot. Oh God. Bad. Wisconsinite. Well, happy Monday to you too. And welcome and thank you. That's very sweet. I appreciate it. Hey, just Grammy. J-Dub in the house. Oh, you're diamond painting? You know what? I have a fabulous diamond painting that I'm like halfway done because I could have been done with it much sooner if I number one, tucked it in a place where I might actually walk by and lay eyes on it. But I am going to finish it because it's so pretty. It's a famous bakery in London. It's called Peggy Portion, and it's a pink telephone booth in front of this adorable pink and white bakery filled with roses of every shade of pink and white. I think I showed it on here one time. Okay. I'm running. Well, thank you, Kimberly, and welcome. Hey, Boots and Bourbon, how are you? Nursykins, 76. Welcome. Hey, Mac, how are you? All right. Well. Hey, SoFlo, how you doing? Has everybody got their kiddies back in school? Hey, PJ, how are you? Angel Chips, hello. Happy Monday. Candy Wrapper 420. Cute name. All right. I think I've gotten TLC is me. Rachel. Happy Monday, ladies. Wise Angel UK. Oh, Jaguars hooligan. Number 7 on the employed list. Welcome. Steven's Adventure. All signs say yes. Magic 8 Ball. Not that kind of 8 ball. Some people say those are magical. Oh, God. I was watching Hotel Cocaine, I think it's called, about the mutiny in Miami Beach back in the heyday of, well, not Square Grouper. It was after Square Grouper. La Coquina. Hey, Dee Dee. Scooter McBooters. Hey, Gina. Pink Stripe. Happy Monday. All right, y'all. Upstate New York. NYX housewife. Ooh, welcome. I did. I was there on day one. I was actually there for the early event. I think they let you do it. Well, depending on how much money you waste in their store, they let you shop early. And they actually had some really good sales. Hey, Deanna. All right, y'all. I hope I got everyone. I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but in the interest of time, hey, literally Davis. Zen, hi. I am running. Okay. I was listening yesterday. Hey, Erie, how are you? I was listening yesterday as I was closet cleaning. Misinformation. How are you? You put your alt on? Okay. We like alts. All the bushwatchers are welcome. Bushwhackers, and those were professional wrestlers that I used to like back in the day. I know that comes as a surprise to a lot of people. They're like, "What? You liked wrestling?" I did. I freaking loved it when I was in elementary, well, like 5th grade to 8th grade. And now I'm a huge fan of UFC. I love to see two like just rabid dudes. I'm not so much into the women fighting, but I'll watch it, but I prefer to watch the men. Yep. And even when I was a kid, I loved boxing, and it's probably because I used to watch it with my dad. In fact, I remember being being a kid and my dad going to Las Vegas to go see Sugar Ray Leonard fight. It was either Hearns or Hagler. He fought both of them several times, but I think that's where it comes from. I just love to see a bitch get slapped. Although they don't exactly do that in UFC. Anyway, I was listening yesterday I listened to Queen Bee. This morning I listened to Granny's Watching from yesterday. In fact, Joneson was on the panel at some point. It was not long before I came in here. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing because it would take too long, and that's not what we're here for. But I heard basically it was all about, Seth brought out these very personal things about his son that he should not have. None of us should know anything about that, but we all do. And, various creators discuss it in whatever way they think is appropriate. And obviously it's anything involving SA, especially SA of a child. People have very strong feelings about it. I do not talk about this case. I don't follow it except on the fringes, we'll just say, because of all the just insanity that goes along with it. At any rate, Granny had been on a panel. She made a statement. A lot of people felt a certain type of way about it. She felt like it was being misrepresented what she said. I haven't heard. I heard one small clip of J is for Justice. I am going to say this. I don't know Granny at all. I have never spoken to her outside of YouTube. We've had no contact whatsoever, except when I will go in her chats in the morning sometimes. And there's tons of people in there. When she came on yesterday, and I guess it must have been right after all of this brouhaha happened. And I'm not going to get into my thoughts or my opinions on what was being discussed. I'm going to say that she had a very personal connection to what she was discussing. And I'm not putting her business out either because it's not my story. And I damn sure wouldn't attempt to tell it. I'm going to say that I could hear it in her voice. And I felt for her. I could hear the emotion in her voice. And it brought up this bigger thing. It made me think about, some of the larger issues not relating to Sebastian Rogers. And because I'm old and I can't remember shit, I had to write it down. And one of those was, well, let me say, I heard Chasing say, if we don't talk about this, meaning Sebastian's case, it will go away. And I slightly paraphrase, but I believe that's almost verbatim what she said. And I sat back and I was like, what it immediately made me think was this. Is YouTube, and listen, there's people from all over the spectrum. I thought I was coming here to talk true crime. That's not what happened. And for the first time in my life, I'm not like Betty. I haven't been watching Perry Mason since I was 2. And I also have not been doing taxes since I was 5 or whatever fucking stupid thing she said. But I have been very interested in true crime since the days when if you wanted to read about a case, you had to do just that. You had to buy a book. And the first thing you would do is you'd open the book, you'd go right to the middle, and you'd look at the pictures, which were generally black and white. I do not discuss it here because of all the from here to here and everything in between. I don't like what goes along with all of this. And the bigger picture that it really made me think about was, and not just YouTube, all of social media, but I can only speak to what I do, which is YouTube and what I know. Is social media way too involved in all of this? I would say yes. And listen, I like Chasing very much. I think she's a really smart lady. I think that she has the best of intentions with whatever she does. I would never I, I do not think of her in any way the way I think of so many of the other people who are as she gets. I've heard her say that she gets really into the research and digging down. She's not just coming on and blah 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 talking shit like me. Um, but I'm also not discussing these kids because I see what happens. And I would rather give the counterpoints to the absolute worst at the top end of the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs continuum. The ones who think that they're investigators, the one who will tell you that she did investigations for law firms. I'm calling bullshit on you, Betty, because, ma'am, you have a criminal record a mile fucking long. And I know you weren't convicted, but I've actually worked for a lawyer. I actually went to school to be a paralegal. I ended up not getting that degree. I got a general AA degree. I have one class left that I could go back and I could have an AS degree in paralegal studies. I didn't because I worked for an attorney and I didn't like it. But it was because it was a one-man show. Not he did a little bit of everything. Family law, little tiny bit of criminal. Had I been in a different firm, it didn't work for me at that time in my life. But if I wanted to, because when you've gone to a state school, the catalog that you come in under, that's the catalog that stays with you. So despite the fact that it's been almost 30 years since I got my degree, if I wanted to, and I wanted to take one class, which was, this is how old, this is how long ago it was. Computerized legal research is the one and only class for, I believe it was 3 credit hours. Some classes are 4. I think that one was 3. That is the one and only class I would need to go take. And I would have an AS degree along with an AA. I'm not interested in doing that, but I could. So all I was getting to with all of that is there's everything from somebody like me who's just sitting on the sidelines, and whatever information I know about these cases or what I've gotten from going to the various chats. And then we get all the way to the top of the fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs continuum, and we've got a busted up looking bitch like Betty, looking a whole ass. Betty, the one connection that I think you really do have that you can really lay claim to about true crime is you look a lot like fucking Eileen Warnos, okay? But yeah, you get all the way up to her, who thinks she's got cases. Bitch, you don't have cases. You don't have a job. And, all these fucking lies that she tells. And I just no. But it really did make me stop and think when I heard Chasing say that, because at first I was like, what? Why is his case going to go away if YouTube doesn't talk about it? But then when I, used a little reasoning and, walked it out a little further in my mind, I believe that people like her and other creators who are not just making it all about themselves, I think that definitely can be a benefit to these cases. But I think, unfortunately, there's more people who are way overly involved. This is not your child. I don't want to get up any further on this soapbox, but I just think that unfortunately, social media could be a fantastic tool for helping in these cases, but I think unfortunately that it probably does more harm than good from where I'm sitting anyway. And that doesn't mean I'm right. That's just my opinion. So, okay, that's enough of the serious shit. Now let's get on to Bull Skank Betty. Hey Betty. Oh, has anyone checked the docket? I know I don't need to ask that because I guarantee that the Sumner County clerk of the court docket, which is their docket even? You can't print documents from there, I don't think. I know you can look at things. Can you imagine? They probably had to up their server game. They probably had to get on the phone with IT and say, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here, but all of a sudden the traffic on our website, it keeps crashing the server. Yeah, there's all these people that just keep looking up who is this nut job? Bullhorn Betty? Why do all these people care?" Well, I'm smarter than Betty is by about 1,000 miles. So I'm not going to come out and say definitively that Betty doesn't have an attorney. I do not believe she has an attorney. However, it's going to be very easy to prove us all wrong, all these skeptics, because the attorney, if she has one, well, they're going to file a notice of appearance ASAP with the clerk of the court, which is nothing more than, hi, I'm attorney poor bastard who how long do you think it'll take for him to fire his client? I say if she has an attorney, as soon as she gets down to about 75 cents left in her trust account, they're going to refund her 75 cents and say, "Have a good day, bitch. Good luck." Yeah. Can you imagine what it would be like to try and work with her? Oh my God. She's going to want to tell him all these fucking delusional stories and theories. And he's going to be like, "Ma'am, it's your dime, honey. But TikTok, do you realize all this crazy shit you want to tell me? You do realize that that's going against your retainer, right? TikTok. Attorneys bill in quarter hourly increments. But last I knew. Last I either paid for one or worked for one. Hello to anyone who came in. Cinnamon Hot. How are you? PP Gate. Who else did I see? Twin thing. No, you were here earlier. Oh, Boomal. How are you? I love saying that. Oh, nonsense. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. God, it's been a minute. Hi, Nicole. Okay, and I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Corrine, did I miss you? All right, so Betty, and here's another thought that occurred to me. Now, do you think because here's the deal. Betty is going to have to get an attorney who is licensed to practice law in the state of Tennessee. Which means that she's basically going to have to pick him over the internet. And I thought, well, my goodness, how's this going to work, Bets? If she was fortunate enough to find an attorney in Florida that was also licensed to practice in the state of Tennessee, not likely, but if she did, my goodness, you know what I thought? Well, they could probably drive in the HOV lane if he picked Betty up, because Betty's pile of shit car. Well, half the time it doesn't work. So God, wouldn't that have been nice if she could have found a lawyer that would have given her a ride to court? And if so, how much would that have cost? Or maybe if she could find a lawyer that also drives Uber. I don't know. God, she's so stupid. But yes, Betty's legal team. Betty, is the legal team, do they know the team up here? I'm sorry, the team that, how did she put it? Bullhorn Betty is not just one person. For all the dum-dums out there. All right, Sybil. Do you want to tell us the other team member's name? We know you've got Shitbag Sonia, the t-shirt maker to the stars. Who else you got on board there? The poor bastard at Staples that has to make your fucking copies that nobody looks at or gives a shit about. Who's the other team members? I'm just wondering. Does she have somebody to answer the phone lines? Oh, Bets, why did you turn off all the comments on your community post? And you know what I noticed? Her last community post. This is how I know she listens. Fuck you, Betty. Because I've been dragging her for filth for a while over the fact that she's illiterate sounding, speaking. But all of a sudden I noticed Betty has met a comma. Betty's got somebody who's interpreting for her. Betty gives her version of the King's English that it really makes me want to weep when she speaks and or writes. And all of a sudden, she's found someone who seemingly definitely got a passing grade in English, middle school English. Isn't that interesting? Yes, I wonder who it is. Okay. Let's find. I was going to do yesterday's. If there's a better, if today's is better, and by better, I mean, any major eruptions, or is it just going to be the same bullshit over and over and over and over? She didn't do anything wrong. They can't prove a pattern of behavior. She didn't do anything wrong. They can't. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Sure, girl. Sure, Jan. It's your story. You tell it how you want. All right. Let's find this bitch. Said nobody ever. Something else occurred to me. Betty keeps speaking about the Proudfoots and the Bowersox being corrupt. They're corrupt. It's the good old boys club. The good old boys club, it definitely does exist everywhere in this country, in the world, but we'll just keep it to the continental United States. That's definitely a thing. That has been a thing forever. It's always going to be a thing. But I think what Betty confuses, because see, this is something she wouldn't know anything about. Betty confuses, and I'm speaking more about Bowersox because I've just heard more about them and their standing in the community, and from what I have heard, and I don't know if it's true, but from what I've heard from more than one person who definitely pays a lot of attention to this case and knows what's going on from day to day, I've been told that the Bowersox are, community members that seem to be well thought of and definitely know, they got friends in high places. And in Betty's world, that's a crime because Betty confuses a good standing in your community and contributing to your community. She confuses that for the word corruption. And yes, bitch, the appearance of impropriety, Betty, that's just you using your funhouse mirror, and that's you. You are the appearance of impropriety, among many other things. So yeah, she confuses good standing and knowing other people who are influential or who have influence with corruption. I don't think that's how most people see. Like, Betty, just because Betty thinks that she's contributed to her community by going and being a fucking rabid Karen at a BOCC meeting and getting her 15 minutes of, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. They give you 3 minutes there. Getting her 3 minutes of power. Like, Betty is in her fucking glory at those BOCC meetings. You know why? Because she gets 3 minutes and she gets 3 minutes. I've seen a couple times when they interrupted her, but and that's That's what makes Betty feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Betty has never met a fucking podium that she didn't want to meet, didn't love. Yeah, maybe if they're still having trouble getting her served, just hold a BOCC meeting in Sumter County. Is it Sumner or Sumter? SUM. See, that's how much attention I pay. I don't, because I'm not, I know I think it's Sumner. Hey KB, how are you? All right. Yeah, Betty, here's Betty, who, you know, she thinks that Donald Trump knows she's alive. No, he doesn't. Betty is what you call a rhino. In more ways than one. You know, rhinos also have very leathery looking dry skin. Betty is a Republican in name only. Period. End of story. And that I absolutely will state as fact. Because, I mean, I myself am a registered Republican. I don't just vote based on an R or a D. I voted for Barack Obama, okay? And I voted for Trump last year, and I will vote for him this year. Betty is a rhino, a Republican in name only. She is, because she thinks that the Proudfoots and the Bowersox had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance, and she's entitled to feel however she wants. We all are. It's just very interesting to me that you call yourself a Republican, but you do not believe. You've got the people. They have not been charged. To my knowledge, none of them have been considered suspects or called suspects. They may be considered suspects by law enforcement, but we don't know that, because unlike Betty, you know, we don't have a crystal ball that tells us, you know, GPS coordinates and who's guilty, who's innocent. She does not fucking believe in due process, unless it's her, of course. And Betty, from the look of your arrest history and all those pesky entries onto the DV registry, Betty, you've had more than your fair share of due process. You've had enough due process for fucking everybody in this chat and, you know, going back for seconds. She doesn't believe in due process. There was something else that I wanted to point out. Oh, yes. And I'm not stating this as fact. This is my belief. And this is my belief based on things I heard her say quite a while ago. I think that she very much believes in sucking off the system. People like me and you that pay taxes to pay for people like Betty who don't. Now, I mean, I have no way of knowing for sure, but I know, and I'm not the only one. I know I have heard her talk about her ailments and that she was on disability. She's got a fucking handicap placard. Bitch, the only handicap I see with you is mental. And I don't know, do you get VIP parking because you've got a mental handicap? I don't know. Maybe you do. But I don't have to make a big leap to think that she's sucking off the system. I don't know many Republicans, true Republicans, who believe in, they don't just call themselves Republicans because they're a fucking nut job who's gotten it in their head that following the Donald around the country, wearing fucking ridiculous outfits in a desperate plea for attention. I mean, like, that's not a job, but in her mind it is. But I just don't know. I don't know many Republicans who believe in and that's not to say that Republicans don't believe in helping people who are truly disabled. I think one of the greatest fucking shames in this country is that there is one person who has served this country in our military that becomes disabled for whatever reason. I think it is fucking shameful that private charities have to step in to help these, sometimes grievously wounded vets. So I just, she doesn't seem to hold a lot of the principles and values that Republicans believe in. And believe me, I don't give a fuck what she is. It doesn't matter to me. But hey, I'm just here to point out the many, 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 many times that you look like an uneducated idiot. And, counter your bullshit non-facts with a little bit of common sense. Don't worry, girl. My pleasure. Not really, but all right. But here's how I look at it. She's a fucking tragedy pimp is too good for her. It makes me want to apologize to every pimp out there. First of all, because every pimp in the world is far better dressed than she is. Most pimps do have pretty good fashion game. She's like, I don't even know what's the word. Vulture, leech. It's my belief that she does not give one single fuck about any of these, typically children. Betty, do you ever look for grown-ups or is it just children? Because I would say and when I say smart, please manage your expectations. I don't mean intellectually intelligent. She's the fucking furthest thing from that. But oftentimes sleazy people, like someone who knows within a centimeter where the public right of way and your driveway private property ends. I couldn't tell you that if my life depended on it. Why? Because I don't go stand in front of people's houses with bullhorns. I don't have people taking restraining orders on me. I don't have to file fucking legal teams. Oh God, a team. Like she can't. See, this is the problem with people like you, Betty. You can't, they can't be happy with just, it couldn't just be, I'm hiring a lawyer. No, it's got to be a legal team. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alan Dershowitz, Mark Levin. Who else? Who else do we have on retainer for Betty that are going to come and represent her in this very important case that, she just doesn't have time. She's got a lot of other lawsuits on her docket. Oh my God. That's Betty. It's not normal. Do you get that? It is not fucking, none of this shit is normal. It's just not what I consider normal. Put a 1 in the chat. If you do not currently have any civil lawsuits going or have restraining orders taken out on you, just put a 1 if you do not. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all ones. All right. Let's find this bitch and get this party started. Oh my God. You're fucking gross. God, you are so disgusting. Hold on. I want to show you her thumbnail from today. She is, God, Betty, you just don't fucking get it. You don't get it because you have never met class in your life. You just haven't. You don't know what it is. Maybe I should feel sorry. Well, I do feel sorry for her in several respects, but she just has no couth. She knows no boundaries. Y'all, should we raise money to buy Betty and Emily Post etiquette book? Not that she would read it. And most people, hey, Hope for Snoopy, most people do not need to read a fucking book to try and tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about the language of letting go. Bitch, You can't let go of what happened in second grade, would be my guess. And that book, sweetie, that book isn't doing jack shit for you. Okay. Throw it out. I mean, but most people do not have to be told that something that when you're discussing topics like a missing autistic child, you don't usually have to tell them that they shouldn't do a thumbnail like this. Hold on, let me show this to you. God, she is so gross. You are just so foul. Look at this. Did Katie lose her? And then we've got a fucking emoji pile of shit. Oh, Betty, is that your new avatar? A pile of shit? It should be. It should be a pile of shit with a bunch of fucking dead melted hair. I mean, I hope she lost her shit. My God, if you did to me and said the shit that you have said about this woman's child, about her husband, and by the way, I am giving Seth, Katie, and Chris all the presumption of innocence because, that's what we're supposed to do. That doesn't mean that I don't have thoughts on things I have heard from both of them. But here's the difference. When Chris came out and sounded like a controlling, misogynistic asshole, apparently he is smart enough to take counsel from someone who undoubtedly said to him, dude, this is not a good look. You're speaking for your wife. You're talking about how you've laid hands on your stepson. I've got feelings about him. I've got feelings about her, and I damn sure have feelings about Seth. And I do not mean in relation to anything to do with his son. But I think it says a whole lot about someone when they would get involved with this trash. And I'm sorry, you don't have to watch her too long to figure out that she's trash. And you are doing nothing but wasting valuable time listening to this idiot. She will bring nothing but chaos to you. And more importantly, because you're an adult, you make whatever decision you want. But your son, she is not helping anything. And I would submit to you, not only is she not helping anything, she is going to keep people who could possibly be very legitimate and very much have good intentions and want to help you in multiple ways, whether it's financially, going out and searching, whatever. But you know what? They'll stay away because of her. Because if you think there is one decent person or one true professional, anything that would get in within a fucking mile of her, you are sadly mistaken. And you know what you need to keep in mind, sir? Listen, I get it. Divorces can be very bad. And when there's children involved, but listen, I could preach to the choir. Trust me when I tell you I know of what I speak. I also know that you need to love your child more than you hate your ex-wife and her new husband. You just do. It's not a good look. And I'm not trying to get in these people's personal business because it's not my business. But when you bring it here, this is what happens. So, but I mean, Seth, I know she's your good buddy. This is the mother of your child. I mean, do you understand that you hurt your child when you say derogatory, nasty things? And I get it. This is a missing child case and he thinks they've got something to do with it. But you can feel that way all day long. But you are not going to find your son here on YouTube. Of that, I promise you. And I'm also going to say sadly, with pretty good certainty that you are doing nothing but wasting time here. This is not, I think you like the attention, quite frankly. And that also I don't think is a good look. But I tell you what, I would never come out and say that you. Oh my God. Are you fucking serious right now? Wow, I wish I hadn't done that. We go from did Katie lose her shit emoji to Laura, am I a bondage Barbie? I'm just going to go ahead and say no. I don't know about the bondage part, but no, you're not a Barbie. That's for sure. Yeah. Wow. So there you go. That's my oh, look at that. Look at all those no's. I'm so shocked that y'all are not you don't have a million lawsuits going on. You don't have multiple fucking restraining orders taken against you. That's so surprising. My goodness. Not at all. Okay. So now let's pull trash bag Betty up. Excuse me. Subscribe. Like up. Yeah, not if it was the last channel on earth. You got it. It's a privilege to chat in Bullhorn Betty's chat. Oh, yes, because it is inhabited by some of the greatest legal minds on YouTube. Oh, yeah, no, not so much. Oh boy. Okay. My God, how many freaking lives have you done? Okay, well, I thought I didn't realize she did 2 yesterday. Well, of course she did. She's a busy woman. In between lives, she was what? Well, probably not getting fitted for a bra, not going to the hairdresser, not getting discovery in order for her civil case. Yeah, that party that, she sent the invitations out. Oh God. Well, the appearance of impropriety. Yes. You definitely, Betty, that's just you staring back at yourself, honey. How weird. I never have problems with my internet. Come on. Oh God. Oh, sorry. I usually try and do these before I. Why is this buffering? Oh my God. I need to do what she's doing.
My 8 years of back pain after having kids became a
holy shit, lady. Girl,
3.5 months. Got the waistline I had.
God.
And people were talking about
the beautiful woman with the insanely rockin' bod that showed up before fucking the Mucinex man. Ma'am, if you do not presently have a job with Cirque du Soleil, I do believe they are always accepting applications, and you should go because you definitely, I think, could get a job at Cirque du Soleil. You guys, the last time I was in Vegas, we only had time to see one show, and here was my choice. Michael Jackson's, what did they call it? It's Cirque du Soleil. It was either the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil or Cirque du Soleil O. And I chose Michael Jackson, and oh my God, it was fabulous. Fabulous. I don't plan on going back to Vegas anytime soon, but if I do, I want to see the Cirque du Soleil. I think it's called O, the one in the water. Although I don't know, I'm sure it will give me anxiety. I tried watching the documentary on Amazon. Oh, I had and I'm a good swimmer, but I don't, and grew up in Florida, but I don't I'm not a big fan of water. And water in the dark. I don't give a damn if it's a pool, a big ass pool. No, thank you. So I think that's why I didn't pick it before, because I was like, oh, I think it's going to give me anxiety the whole time. All right. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, education, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use that might otherwise be considered infringing. Betty, what would you be? Research? Yeah, you're kind of like a research project. Like, what happens to a dumb bitch who's unemployed and a prolific criminal record? Well, what happens when she gets a good internet connection and a microphone and a bunch of other dumbass people willing to follow her? Well, let's cut her open, count the rings, and find out. Betty, if you're going to be this level of celebrity, being, YouTube famous as you are, like, how many times am I going to have to tell you, you need to get your shit together, ma'am? Okay. Like, every day I see you, you look worse. And Betty, I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, the other times I might have been trying to be mean. Well, I just can't stand you. You're a bitch, and you're a fucking horrible person who does horrible shit to people. And I'm sorry. I'm not good enough to not use your appearance against you. Your Honor, anything you choose not to put lipstick on can and will be used against you in the Crimes and Fashion Court of Law. Guilty. Okay. There was something else I was going to say, but I don't remember. Who cares? Okay, we're going to put her on 1.25. I think that's kind of the sweet spot. Well, not that there's any sweet spot with Betty. I mean, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the sweet in Betty? I think much like that little owl. Oh boy, that would be one giant ass lollipop, wouldn't it? That lollipop would be as big around as the London Eye. And anybody who may not know, that's the giant Ferris wheel. Every big city has one. The London Eye it's called the Eye there. Maybe the other cities call it the Eye as well. I don't know, but that's the one that came to mind. That's the size of the lollipop you would have to be licking to try and get to the sweet center of the Betty Pop. Oh God, I feel like I need to shower just saying that. Whew. All right, Betty, take it away.
Wait. When I was on here the first time, how it's because
I said shut up. Hold on. I need to move. I'm going to move myself over here. Or do I want to do it the other way? I think I want to do it the other way. Yeah, hold on. Stand by, kids. Hold, please. We're going to move that there. We're going to move Betty to the right. No, apparently we're not. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, you guys, I screwed this up. Damn it, what did I just do? All right. There we are. I'm back. I know you didn't know I was gone. Let me stop that screen. Okay. I'm sorry. I have to pull her up again. I'm still not used to these two monitors. And when I go to move, when I moved I want to be able to look at the comments while I'm dragging her, but damn it, where did it go? Nope, it's not that one. All right, history, come on. All right, we were just looking at that. Why the hell is it not coming up? Now I've got to go back to her channel. I cannot believe she makes people wait 5 days to comment in her chat, because it's a privilege commenting in the Bullhorn Betty chat. Bring your own crayons. I mean, wow. And now it's buffering. This is so strange. You guys, I absolutely never have internet problems. Is she fucking live right now? No, sorry. It's somebody else talking about her. Oh, damn it. Let me try and get to her channel another way. I don't get this. My internet is... YouTube is just buffering. Oh, there we go. All right. Finally, the appearance of Impropriety with Bullhorn Betty. All right. Oh, let me guess. Am I going to... Oh, of course. I have to watch another. So you all don't have to watch it. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. This is today's. All right, we'll leave that one pulled up. And let me find the other one. I just got to back her up. Okay, here we go. The appearance of Impropriety. If I have to watch another one of her stupid ass ads, why is this one? I don't get it. There we go. Okay, let me move her over. Let me move her over to another country. All right, everybody's still with me. Present. Oh shit, I full screened her. Can't do that until she's there. All right, Bullhorn Betty. Is there an appearance of Impropriety? Yeah, there is. And my God, who knew that Impropriety wore fucking horrific clothes? Put a bra on. God dang. It's like, I don't get, listen, and I know there's lots of ladies that don't like bras. And here's the thing. I would never say anything to you. But like, if you want to hold yourself out as being all these things, you're all the things. You're a journalist. You're an investigative journalist. You're a victim's advocate. You're a poorly spoken, illiterate sounding mouthpiece for a father of a missing child. Well, sorry. Like, I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit. I don't think I've ever seen Ashley Banfield or Paula Zahn or, any real legit investigative journalist. I mean, they may look like this when they're coming home after a hard day out in the field, actually working. They don't come on TV looking like this because, gee, nobody would watch.
Trying very hard for me to be able to speak. And so,
you have never had a problem fucking speaking. I know I, for one, would wish you'd find a problem speaking because, my goodness, what a world that would be.
So it took a lot of power to get the voice, the vocal box.
Oh, here comes Martyr Betty. Please meet the patron saint of bullshit. Bullscorn Betty.
Work. It had nothing to do. My lungs are clear. I have nothing going on in my lungs. It's all in my
God. Like, Betty, girl, I can even sympathize with you on this point because I was deathly ill for about 3 weeks. I couldn't have come on YouTube if my very life depended on it. And like, please tell me she's not going to go through this whole thing. Like, oh God, no.
My head.
Because let's not forget, this is how Betty eats. So Betty cannot, I would imagine it doesn't matter how fucking sick she is, and not in that way. I already have opinions about that way. No, I mean the real, literal sick. Well, she can't take a day off apparently because she won't be able to eat or, pay her bills. She's got to do that on the back of a missing child.
It's like a chest cold.
Oh God.
And it's not COVID.
Please put a fucking bra on your chest cold. I heard that that's a really good cure for a chest cold. Miss Holistic, and I know you're what did she call herself the other day? A natural kind of girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Put a bra. A bra, it works really well for your type of chest cold.
Good gracious. I appreciate all
Good
the love.
gracious, this is Sister Christian. That means she's getting ramped up to try and, reach into your wallet.
And everything like that. But it's just not that. I think it's a sinus infection or some type of chest or head cold because I haven't ran a fever.
Maybe it could be because you're filled with hatred and venom on the inside, and maybe it's trying to get out.
And I had the sore throat, but everything's kind of right here.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's God's way of telling you to, I don't know, take a deep breath and shut the fuck up.
It's not down here. It's all right here. So I'm doing good.
Oh, you sound good. Oh, God dang it, Betty. These fucking ads. They're so annoying.
I'm doing better.
Oh,
my throat still hurts a little bit, but not like it did yesterday.
How many times are you going to tell us the same thing?
Morning, it felt like I had somebody poured acid down my throat.
Well, that's funny because that's usually what our eardrums feel like when having you inflicted on us.
So I've been in a little bit of
what?
Just not feeling too well. But
is there some reason you can't speak fucking English? We understand it. I know that's rhetorical because it's very hard for you to speak English. But Betty, it would suffice to say, I've got a sore throat. God, I really feel bad. So please give me money so I can go buy some NyQuil and a bra. I don't know. That little bitch Crimes and Fashion. She said a bra works really good for this chest cold.
I'm okay. I'm doing well.
You're not okay.
And of course, I'm listening to everything that's going on. And of course, I've learned that there may be a sheriff's office or a sheriff's deputy or somebody in law enforcement assisting, improperly assisting Katie and Chris and
improperly assisting. This is what a person who's not that bright but is a bullshit artist. This is how they speak. They don't speak like you and me because we just speak. Like she's trying to parse all the words. Could you please just speak like a human being?
And
who told you this?
Whatever they're trying to do, which is completely illegal and improper.
Do you protect your whistleblowers? Are your whistleblowers going to end up in front of Congress, or are they going to have to testify before a Senate subcommittee or anything? I hope you're giving them, whistleblower protection status.
They're lying under oath, and
I think you've lied under oath several times, haven't you? If we're to believe all the bullshit in your lawsuits versus how it actually went down.
A deputy is assisting them. That is a major problem.
That's a big accusation.
Is there an appearance of
by the way, nobody gives a fuck if it's a big problem for you because you don't have a job, you have no influence, and you're not law enforcement.
Propriety.
You don't even live in Tennessee.
Yes, I think there is definitely, whether there is or not, there's the appearance.
Quite thankful for that.
I absolutely believe that there's an appearance, and this is not the only case. We have to remember Grant Solomon.
Honey, the only appearance that we're all waiting for is the notice of appearance from your legal team. Has that happened yet?
Grant Solomon from Gallatin, Tennessee, same area, ran by the same, Sumner County and Gallatin Police Department. We got the Sumner County involved in this one.
Betty's throwing all the departments under the bus.
One is another one that scratched a lot of people's head. This is a boy, his own truck. First of all, the entire family believes the father was responsible for the death of Grant Solomon. He was the only person with Grant when he lost his life.
I don't know who this is, but get ready. This is going to be the next case. It looks like that she's going to start trying to exploit for her own personal benefits.
Truck ran him over and drug him 60 feet, though he had no road rash or no burn marks from the underpinning of the truck, from my understanding with Grant Solomon. While Grant Solomon was down, crushed between rocks in his truck, 3 bystanders were down there trying to help and assist pulling that truck off that boy, while his father was up on the top of the hill looking down, watching these people struggle, and casually calling law enforcement while he's watching his son lose his life before his eyes. And apparently this was all just a really bizarre accident. I call.
Like, what is it about you that makes you think you know jack shit about any of this? And I have no clue about this case she's talking about. It sounds absolutely horrific. But Betty, it sounds to me like Betty has never been, and she should be quite thankful for this. It sounds to me like Betty's never been in any kind of very traumatic event there to like witness it. And you better hope you never are, because boy, you sure are fucking judgy. To use one of your, I'm sorry. What I meant to say is you sure are judgely. Judgely. You sure are judgely, Betty, when it comes to, I don't know, something you read about in the newspaper. Well, never mind. Betty doesn't read a newspaper. Something you read about that one of your mod squad, some fucking link they sent you, like, hey, Betty, look, this one. You think you could make some money off of this one? Never mind. I don't want to get off track here, but it's like this woman has absolutely, seemingly, has no, like, I don't understand this kind of thinking. Like, she has no, she can't see outside of her own little teeny tiny world. I mean, I have seen a very traumatic, I've seen more than one, unfortunately. Nothing like to that degree, but you never know how you're going to act in a traumatic situation. You just don't. You better hope you never find out.
It seems to me that if you are a generational in this area.
If you are a generational, what the fuck is she talking about?
You get preferential treatment from law enforcement.
Okay. Honey, I think the word I think the better word would be legacy. If you're like a legacy family, but generational. Okay. I've just never heard it. That's all she said. If you're a generational, Betty, for people who might not be familiar with all your bullshit and your venom, you might want to just lay a little bit of groundwork, Your Honor.
Plain and simple. We've got two cases here that we can pinpoint this information on. And it makes me very, very upset, and it makes me very concerned.
Do you understand that fucking normal people do not sit back and read something on the internet or watch something on TV and like why are you so personally involved in all this bullshit? Oh, I know, because it's your pretend job. Like, what is wrong with you? This is so fucking strange to me that you feel like you have a right to step into these people's tragedy and their story, and you don't like it. You don't like the way it looks. Bitch, you don't even live in that state. You are not a taxpayer there. I mean, I just don't get it. It's so weird to me. I do not get it. I totally understand. We've all seen things. We've read things that we sit back and go, oh God, that's fucking weird. But the difference is I leave it there. Like, I don't go on and like stew about it. Why are you so overly involved in shit that's none of your business?
We've got Nick Barris clearing.
She hates him.
Like basically clearing.
Betty hates Nick Barris now. He is on her shit list. And somebody help me out here. I know he's a reporter. I believe Betty's now got a hard on for this Nick Barris because he dared to point out to the news that none of the parents are considered suspects, I believe is what he said. But now she's got Nick Barris in her crosshairs. I'm sure he's losing sleep, Betty. Oh my God! If this is
you're seeing this video, it's your sign that you have a message inside you that is meant to reach a whole bunch of people. And my guess is if
Can anybody tell me, because I do not have a clue, can anybody tell me how much money do you think she makes at the end of the month with the number of ads that she makes people suffer through? I mean, her channel is not that big. She could not be making enough money on these ads to make it worth, I would think, all the people she must annoy the shit out of. I'm sorry, I'm not a Bullhorn Betty super fan, but I guess those super fans, I guess they don't mind.
Katie and Christopher
Here we
Proudfoot,
go.
but not Seth. Even Seth is the one that's on camera. So I have major problems with the reporting.
Nobody gives a fuck what you have major problems with. I got major problems with a whole lot of shit right now. I got major problems with your outfit. I got major problems with your lack of a bra. I got major problems with that hair. I got a lot of major problems with you, but doesn't matter. No.
Out here in Sumner County, I got major problems with
Betty, do you know where you are? You appear to be home. Word on the street is you're home. She just said there's major problems here in Sumner County. Betty, I know it must get confusing when you've got lawsuits in so many jurisdictions. I know it must be confusing to, keep it all straight where you're actually located when you're filming. You don't appear to be in Sumter County.
Appears to be preferential treatment from law enforcement to the good old buddy system, people they went to school with.
It's a fucking small town, Betty. They can't help who they went to school with. It's not a big town.
We've learned that Eric Craddock has gone to school with and personally knows Christopher Proudfoot. Is that
doesn't make it a conspiracy. Doesn't mean anything nefarious is going on. It means it's a small town.
Clouding his judgment of Christopher Proudfoot? I don't know. I don't know, but it's definitely
judgment about your hair and wardrobe choices.
Something that we should be talking about. We should be raising. We should have some semblance of
word
why.
Is semblance, not seminence. What the hell did she just say? We need to hear that again. 418
of Christopher Proudfoot. I don't know, but it's definitely something that we should be talking about. We should be raising. We should have some semblance of.
It's semblance, idiot. I'm sorry. I mean, Betty, Walter R. Murrow here. Semblance. Betty, where did you get your media credentials? I know it's not from the AP. Oh, that's right. You made them in an easy bake oven with a shrinky dink. Okay. Noted.
Of why it appears that everybody's being slow, everything's being slow walked when it comes to this case, the forensics.
Everything's being slow walked. What the fuck is slow walked? I mean, there's dog walked, which is what I'm doing to you right now, but what is slow walked? That's a new one.
Their method of operation when they were searching for the boy.
His name is Sebastian.
Boy wasn't going to be found when they had to go over there and reenact this stuff,
Oh yeah, because law enforcement never does that. They never try and do a reenactment to get a better handle on what may have happened.
Let's face it, TBI is not in the control of Sumner County. So guess what? They're all doing whatever they have to do in front of TBI. But you know what? At the end of the day, Sumner County is the one that is in charge of investigating this. The reason why I'm bringing it up is
because I've, as you can tell, I've got a really bad sore throat, and I pretend this is my job, and I really need to get some NyQuil right now. I'm already having to work on, paying back my secret angel benefactor for my legal team, but I really need some NyQuil. That's why we're talking about this right now. So could you please throw me, no super chats, please, because that goes through YouTube, and YouTube takes 33%. So could one of my mods please put up my, I don't know what my Cash App handle is. What is it? You are such an asshole.
To send it to myself is because apparently the day that these hearings where the POs were, and a lot, I want to preface this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody running with the stories know nothing, because according to
you cannot shut your mouth about this, because this is Betty being not bothered, not pressed, not worried, not losing sleep, not freaking the fuck out. Did you ever stop and consider for 1 second that maybe if you could just get some control over your mouth? Well, if you would stop bringing it to everyone's attention and doing all these crazy town things, well, maybe they'd stop talking about it.
My attorney, there was nobody in that courtroom.
You didn't have an attorney.
Nobody was allowed in that courtroom. Everything that you're hearing is absolutely untrue. He spoke to the clerk directly.
Betty, could you please figure out what this unfortunate itching problem is? Because we're all sick and tired of seeing you itch like a baboon. I mean, maybe you should get a baboon, because baboons, they're friendly that way. Like when they find a little mate, they'll pick bugs out of each other's hair and then they eat them, kind of like you did that one day. So, like, please figure this out. It's not professional.
That because I had not been properly served, it was extended.
How many times are you going to tell us this?
Until I'm served. And my next hearing is August 22nd. And that's the reason why it was extended. It's not because I didn't willfully avoid service of process.
You're full of shit, in our opinion, and we're allowed to have that opinion.
I was in a different state. They were serving me at my home in Florida.
Boom!
When I was sitting.
Look at her fucking eyes. Betty, I keep telling you, it's a standing offer. I know somebody at the Vatican. I will help you get an exorcism. You look like you are fucking demonically possessed right now. I mean, Betty, you gotta, like, something's got to give here.
Literally in Mississippi when I found out about this nonsense.
Nonsense.
And then we had a hurricane come through here.
We had just barely, and there's some new people in the chat. So for anybody who doesn't know, I am a Florida native. I am 54 years old. I have lived here my entire life. I live a few hours from Betty, give or take from any direction, about 2 hours. There's someone in the chat who lives quite close to Betty, knows the neighborhood. Betty has no hurricane damage. There was quite substantial damage for people who lived either on or very close to the water. That's not Betty.
Which flooded our streets. Plenty of video evidence. Anybody can go to Google and check it out. I live in Manatee County, right on the border of Sarasota County, if you want to see the...
Oh, and this is also what all people who are terrified of a woman who lives in Illinois, who she claims has somehow gotten somebody to put a tracker on her car. Yeah, little paranoia there. But yes, this is what all people do who are scared for their life from the animals on YouTube. Yeah, they tell people exactly where they live.
Conditions of our roads during this time, you're more than welcome to see it. It makes it very difficult
to
drive home.
That's so nice of you to give everyone permission to use the World Wide Web. Wow, Batista Betty, you have problems.
You have closed roads. So everything is above board, and people are spreading around misinformation about it. But you know what's more concerning? Is the fact that I heard that the Proudfoots are getting help by somebody, they don't know who, in law enforcement.
Are you 12? Is this supposed to hold some kind of weight with us normal people? Somebody, I don't know who. Okay, Betty.
To concoct
to the judge, honey.
Improper and unlawful protective order. That is showing.
You take it up with the judge, bitch, because he's the one who signed it. So you go right ahead. That'd be a great idea. You go right ahead and you tell that judge that it's unlawful what he did.
Definite. Now, this is not a hint of impropriety. This is not the appearance of impropriety. This appears to be impropriety.
Get a new mirror. Oh my God.
Let's go ahead and head on to the bathroom and see if simpler is really simpler, and see if simpler can get rid of all this white.
Oh my God, boy, they really do have some pretty good ad placement. Oh God.
And so we're going to be working on
Betty, is your fucking camera on the ceiling? That's all I need to know. You have a very hard time making eye contact with the camera. You're always doing that, or looking to the left, looking to the right. Where's your camera?
Notify the state's attorney. We're going to be notifying the FBI. We're going to be notifying TBI.
Might I suggest, before you call the FBI for the 97th time, I guarantee you this. Fuck that. Jerry, no, it's your turn. It's that crazy bitch, Bullhorn Betty from Manatee. No, blow her to voicemail. Okay. What is wrong with you? You're going to call the FBI. Well, I would suggest before you do that, get a name.
I have our concerns. We're going to be demanding a full internal
investigation. Are Betty? They're busy with real problems. My God. I mean, if this is the metric that you use to determine when you should call the FBI, I'm going to call the fucking FBI for the crime that has been committed atop your head. Okay?
Investigation inside that department. Now, whether that happens or not, I have no idea. It depends on whether they take us seriously.
They won't.
But I'm right.
And
now
you are probably, Betty, you know, like if you, well, you wouldn't know because you don't have any kids, but when my son was little, a couple times he called 911 accidentally playing with my phone. Do you know that they can charge you if, I don't know how many you get. I never got charged, but Betty, I wonder what the FBI bills when when you've called too many times. I wonder if they just give you a phone number, like a referral line for the people that, maybe hear things that aren't there and maybe have a team that the rest of us can't see. I don't know.
In the midst of crafting the letter that I think would be used. You guys can use the same letter or you can make up your own.
You're going to be crafting a letter? Does that mean are you going to get a highlights magazine and you're going to cut out the letters and then you're going to glue it on the page? Think Saw. That's Betty. Betty's going to do a form letter. She's crafting. Who the fuck talks like this? Somebody who's stupid, who wants people to think she's brilliant. How about we're executing a letter? We're drafting a letter. How about that? Crafting is not a word I would use. You know what? When somebody says they're crafting something, Betty, it tends to make it sound like you're coming up with a load of bullshit. That's what I get when I hear somebody like you use the word crafting. Mr. Crimes and Fashion is home. Say hi, everybody. He must have heard me screaming my ass off in the garage because he came in through the back door and
It doesn't matter, but we're going to be dovetailing both.
Honey, Betty's calling the FBI again. I know my husband's in his office right now like, la, 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 la. Honey, I don't want to hear about that nasty bitch anymore.
The Sebastian Rogers case and the Grant Solomon case
now Grant Solomon.
One.
Is she serious right now?
One letter, because even though Grant Solomon is being,
you're gonna now has the Sebastian Rogers grifting well, has it dried up? You've now got to add another case in there, and how long have you had your grubby mitts in that one? 30 seconds, and you're ready to write and call the FBI. Wow. I usually say to you that they make medication for this kind of stuff. I don't know that they do. I know that there's procedures they can do to help with that kind of, I'll just call it magical thinking. That was a great book. Did anybody read The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion? It's a memoir of the year, that year in her life after she lost her husband. It's a very good book. Not to be confused with Betty's Magical Thinking.
Investigated by Gallatin Police Department. Sumner County was involved in that.
Hey, honey, Do you want to close my door? Okay.
And the fact that it appears that they have no problem arresting people, but just seems like they don't like to arrest people.
Then my suggestion to you, stay the hell out of that county, because God knows you seem to be like an arrest magnet.
Have been there generationally.
Which
and
is a crime, apparently.
You know, it just seems like there's a good old boys system out there in this area. And
Betty, there is a good old boys system in every single county, no matter how big or small. That's just life.
And we've got houses exploding. They have a population of 50,000 people. 50,000
exploding.
We've got kids getting run over by trucks with no skid marks on them, no road rash, even though they were drugged 60
Betty,
or 70.
You should not say the word skid mark. Just in the future, just don't. It just lends itself to a lot of things.
70 feet. We've got houses exploding. We've got a child disappearing from his home when he was only there with his mother, and no evidence of him even walking out of the home. And then we got Eric Craddock himself. It sounds like after my hearing, there were some people, I don't know who they were.
Okay, wait a minute. Is Craddock the sheriff that just took over for the one that died?
That decided to go up to the sheriff's department and, you know, ask for answers. Now, we don't know what their demeanor was. Were they, you know, going down there with pitchforks?
Well, if they were your people, I would say that the pitchfork is that's a very good possibility.
They were as concerned citizens. I have no idea.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. And we'll let her go a minute, but is she trying to intimate here that the Bullhorn Betty fan club posse went down to the sheriff's department and wanted to know what's going on? Oh, please tell me that's not what she's saying.
And they talked to Eric Craddock, and Eric Craddock basically didn't want to answer anything from them.
Why would he? Betty, do you think that the sheriff himself is involved in this TRO? What? If the sheriff knows who you are, trust and believe. Well, actually, I guess he would know who you are, because you're a fucking menace to the state of Tennessee, and you make all these crazy, horrible accusations about, oh, I don't know, him and his department, and it's not a big town. Please stop the delusion. You're not known for anything good.
And basically told him there's not going to be one stitch of evidence or one stitch of information.
Betty, you are the only person I have ever heard use to when trying badly to quantify something, especially something like evidence. I've never heard somebody say there's not going to be a stitch. How about there's not going to be a bit? God, Betty, do I have to do everything for you?
They're not going to
teach you how to like
gosh darn thing. He works for the people of Sumner County. And he's basically
you don't live in Sumner County. You realize that, right? He doesn't work for you. You don't even pay your taxes in Florida. What? You think you have rights there?
Telling the residents of Sumner County, you don't matter. Your voice.
Well, it was a polite way, I would imagine, of him trying to say that you don't matter, that he's the sheriff of the whole place. He's has to oversee all of law enforcement and everything that goes on there. Betty, I know in your mind, you are of the utmost importance everywhere. Well, no. And he was just trying to find a nice way to tell if what this wacko even says is true. I mean, come on.
Doesn't matter. And he's actually running for an elected office this
yes,
this
and
year.
You don't get a vote there because you don't live there.
I don't think his performance is that of something that should be reelected.
Nobody gives a fuck what you think of his performance. You don't get a vote there. If you want to vote there, please, by all means, move there. Florida would really miss you.
I really don't.
Oh.
For him to basically flip the bird to his entire community and tell him to go F off.
No, well, make up your mind. You just said that he told people that he wasn't going to tell him anything. And why would he? To now, he did that. Like, come on, Betty.
That's pretty bold from a sheriff. And that's exactly what he did.
Bold for some busted up.
That is exactly what he's
on her
doing.
Couch.
This is something, you know, they're saying basically the parents had nothing to do with this, right? I mean, that's what they're alluding that through Nick Barris. They're not saying it, but they're alluding through Nick Barris that that's the case. So that means there's a crazed person on the loose that likes to snatch kids from their home.
Wow. That's a big leap you just made. How do you get they're not suspects, all three of them? How do you then get to there's a crazed lunatic taking children from their home? I mean, I guess he could have walked out of the house.
And yet, this sheriff doesn't think it's important for the community
look how
to know
worked
what
up she's getting. Betty, if you got this worked up and put this much effort into getting a fucking job, a real job, your life would probably look different.
Happened to a 15-year-old boy. He wants to shovel it under the rug for his friend, Christopher Proudfoot. And it's starting to seem very, very
wow. It's starting to seem very, very paranoid by someone who's very over involved in something that it's really none of your business. And why are you this involved in this? Oh, that's right. It's your paycheck. Okay. Oh,
why did no one tell Florida drivers about this new rule?
If you are currently
I'm going to
insured,
keep track of the ad.
drive less than 50 miles.
I think we're at least on 4, possibly 5.
It seems like they're trying to distance.
She looks like she's going to
themselves from this case so they can put enough distance.
She looks like she's going to blow an aneurysm. I mean, seriously. She's all puffed up. God, I don't know. If I was doing anything in the world that made me look like this, no, I'm done with that thing. With a quickness. It's if you go and look at her from the time that she landed here, I mean, she's a mess. She has had a drastic change in her appearance, and she doesn't look well.
Cobwebs on it.
Oh, cobwebs.
I don't think they want to research this case. I don't think they want to bring anybody to justice for this case, nor do I feel like they're really here to find this boy.
Are you honestly trying to sell us that because this is a small town and the sheriff of said small town went to school with Chris Proudfoot? Number one, that's not a crime. You have no way of knowing if they're just casual acquaintances in this small town where, I don't know, maybe the two of them run into each other at the gas station when they're filling up and it's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. How's Katie? How's the kids? I mean, she wants you to think it's nefarious and that it's a crime that these two know each other. It is not. But more importantly, she wants you to believe that the sheriff is going to, because it would be a crime. If what she is alleging happened, it would be a crime. I don't know a thing about this sheriff because I'm not like her. I don't know a thing about my own sheriff, honestly, because guess what? I don't get arrested. She wants you to believe that this man would risk his livelihood. And I don't know exactly how small the town is. I don't know how many people live there, but typically to get to be the sheriff, well, you've been a career law enforcement person. Typically. So she wants you to believe that this guy is willing to commit a crime, lose his job, and the way I'm assuming he feeds his family, all because he wants to help a guy he went to high school with. Do you know how stupid you sound? I mean, this is so illogical.
Because if they are actually aiding,
this is how she gets her people hyped
this
up.
Corrupt PO stunt,
give her money.
Then that should show you where the will of this sheriff's office is. It doesn't.
No,
it seems like
it doesn't tell me anything except that there's some fucking weirdo from the internet who thinks she's a cop, who's accusing him of all kinds of crazy shit without, I'm going to go out on a limb and say without one shred of evidence to do that.
Office is more trying to silence people and to stop freedom of press than anything else.
You are not, for the fucking millionth time, you are not the press, Betty. I found my press pass yesterday when I was cleaning out. Oh, sorry. This is when I was being Dr. B's knees. But here's my press credentials. And unlike Betty, at least I can pass for a literate person. Yeah. You are not a member of the media. Nobody ever honors your credentials. Do you wonder why that is?
Well, it's going to be kind of difficult because I'm going to be doing a gathering of voices on their front.
Gathering of voices. And she's actually doing this at the sheriff's department. I love that for you, Betty. I do.
So they're going to hear my voice. I'm coming there in a place of love. But now my tune's going to change. Just
a place of love. This is love. And your tune's going to change slightly. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. They're going to. Is there going to be used cake involved? That's all I need to know. Because we saw your last gathering of voices. That was Summer Wells. Yep. You squeezed that poor child's case and contributed. I would say you and people like you contributed to that whole circus atmosphere. That likely contributed to, it. At the very least, it took away time and attention from her case because that small department, Hawkins County, they were busy dealing with all kinds of nutcases like you.
So slightly. Ever so slightly. We're going to start talking about the Grant Solomon case as well as
Betty's got to get multiple streams
Sebastian
of
Rogers case. We're going to find out what is truly going on in their community and why is it always the generationals that get this pat on the back and the slap on the wrist and sent home without any problems.
I noticed she doesn't give any. Hey, what are you doing? No peace. Hey, stop. Oh, hey. Bitchy. What? No, ma'am. Oh, God, I have a rack of clothes next to me, and the cat is playing with the strings that are hanging off a dress. No. Bitchy. No. Hold on. I got to find something to wad up and throw at the cat. She was like, bitch, that's a napkin. What's that supposed to scare me? Hey, stop it. Back to her. I don't, she's not going to give any kind of statistics or anything to like prove this, right? This is all just going to be a bunch of blah, 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 blah.
What
is
going on? Everybody.
Oh my God. Wait. Which county
What?
are we supposed to be raising hell in? So is this still Sumter County or do we need to go to another county to raise hell?
Wow. Okay. You guys need to be writing your politicians in the Tennessee area. Something stinks to high heaven.
Is that what we're supposed to say? Dear politician in the area, something stinks to high heaven. Betty, it's your upper lip.
Eric Craddock telling community members that even if there is a break in the case, nobody's going to know about it.
Yeah. That sounds like a really smart plan. I wonder why. Because he doesn't want all the internet investigator clowns like you showing up there and tainting. Oh, yeah, Betty, you remember when you left a little bit of your DNA behind that unfortunate time in Kathleen Moore's case? Yeah. I mean, why do you think that you or anyone else who lives in that jurisdiction and is actually a taxpayer there, unlike you, why do you think that they owe you or me or anyone in that town? Why do you think that they owe them information? So are you cool with information even if it jeopardizes their case? I mean, that's what it sounds like.
He's not going to talk about it. He's not going to do anything.
Smart.
He's not going to discuss anything or update anybody about this case.
Good for him.
That
it's high
he's just
time
going to shovel it under a rug and walk.
It's sweep it under the rug, shovel it under the rug. I wonder why Betty's got a shovel in mind.
Walk away. That's basically what I told community members on August 8th.
You're
and
not
I just
a
came
community
privy to that
member.
information. I came privy to it before, but I couldn't talk yesterday. So
Oh,
today I got
too
my
bad
voice
you
back a
didn't
little
stay with
bit.
that feeling.
And you know, not I mean, it's still hoarse as hell, but I'm still good. You know,
I don't know. You still sound like the fucking complaining, whining, nasty bitch that you always do. I don't hear any difference in your voice.
feel much better than I did yesterday. Yesterday I felt like a freight train hit me, but
You look like
it's
a freight train
it's not
hit
anything
you.
like COVID. I thought it might even have been strep, but I have no fever. I have no.
God, she's so stupid. Do you understand that you can get an infection or a virus without a fever? Do you get that? You very much can.
Fever at all. So it could have been just something stirred up by the hurricane.
Something stirred up by the hurricane. Betty has a cold, and it was something stirred up by the hurricane. Okay.
I'm not sure. But I've been drinking plenty of water trying to loosen the stuff up in my throat.
Yes, because please, we don't want you to choke.
And I was taking medicine pretty much all day yesterday, medicine and vitamins.
Wait a minute. You said you're an all natural girl. Betty, you know that I forgot to ask you when you said you're an all natural kind of girl. Well, how'd your hair get that way? I mean, it looks like you did your foils with muriatic acid. So I'm just, did you become an all natural girl like after this? It must have been afterwards, right? Okay. I meant to ask you that yesterday.
I do both. I got kind of like a headache back here, but I think it might be because I haven't drank coffee. I try to have like a mocha and it ain't doing, I guess I'm just gonna have to drink black coffee, but.
Betty, yeah, there are other ways to get coffee or caffeine besides coffee. You do know that, right? Soda. I mean, you look like you drink soda. If that body's all natural.
Laryngitis now. I don't think it's laryngitis.
We can't get that lucky.
I feel like if it was laryngitis or
if it was laryngitis, you wouldn't be able to talk. That's the main symptom of laryngitis. We would all love for you to have laryngitis, but we're not going to get that lucky.
Or something like strep. My mom and my sister would have it, you know?
Oh my God.
Make sure someone
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. If you had strep or laryngitis, your mom and your sister would also have it. Yeah, I was deathly ill for at least 3 weeks. It was really more like 4 to 5 when it was all said and done. And my husband, who lives with me, no, he never got any of it.
Demonstration permit from I listen. I'm not paying a fee to exercise my constitutional rights on public property.
They're telling her to get a permit. Yeah, listen, I'm not paying a fee to exercise my constitutional rights. God, you are a cheap bitch. Isn't that what she said? That right before she said she's an all natural kind of chick, she said, what did she goes? I'm a cheap woman. Every once in a while, Betty speaks truth. Oh God. Oh, Betty. Betty, I should send you a thank you note for all the laughs you give me. My husband's out there rolling his eyes.
I've got a teammate that's working on all of that, trying to figure out what all needs to be done. But as soon as they tell me I got to pay $25 for a permit to exercise my First Amendment right.
Oh my God. What she's getting ready to rage about a $25 permit. Oh, Betty, please don't change your mind. Stay with that, because I would love to see your dumbass drive Black Beauty to Tennessee only to have the gathering of voices have to go gather at the fucking 7-Eleven parking lot because your dumbass would not pay $25 to exercise your constitutional rights in the parking lot of the sheriff's office. You cannot make this shit up. Oh, Betty, you are a special kind of stupid. And Betty, you don't pay for anything anyway. Your pay piggies do. Just tell them you need $25. You're a cheap woman. You're a cheap, all natural woman.
Right? I'm going to tell Karen to tell them to F off because no.
You're going to tell Karen to tell him to fuck off? Oh, please do. Please do. That's what I want you to do. Betty, like, wow. Oh, God.
No, we're not going to pay to exercise our constitutional rights.
Well, good. Don't pay and start exercising those rights, and they will exercise their rights to tell you to get the fuck off their property. See how that works? Or, ma'am, you don't have the proper permitting for this event, so you're going to have to shut it down. And then you're going to shoot your big fat mouth off. And I don't know, you probably won't have money for a no-tell motel. So getting arrested it'll be a good thing. You'll get 3 hots and a cot.
On public property. That's not property that sheriff's office owns.
Ma'am,
that's the property the people own.
You are not one of the people who owns jack shit in Tennessee. Why? What do you not get about this? My God, she is so worked up.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Everybody thinks the government is this entity. Do you guys not understand we're the government? You, me, we pay for all.
Bitch, try telling Uncle Sam in the form of the IRS. Try telling him I'm the government and I'm not paying. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you don't pay anyway, but you know, because people like you, they get the benefits of the largesse of people like me and everybody else in the chat who pays taxes. Yeah. See how that works. Yeah. See how it works, Betty.
All of this.
Fight
I
the
don't
power
always
that
have
for
2 hours in my day to actually prepare a meal and then clean up after. Sometimes
fight the power, Betty. Fight the power. Bullhorn Broderick for the people.
We pay for all of this. Linda, I don't have COVID. Okay. I can guarantee I do not have COVID.
Good
Good gracious.
Good gracious. Betty, you're like some kind of fucking, like when you say shit like that, it makes me think of Holly Hobby. It's like, good gracious. I don't give a shit if you have COVID. I don't like the plague. I don't care what you have. You should be glad anybody cares what you have. I mean, why are you being so mean to whatever that lady's name was? Linda.
Everybody's so quick to tag somebody with COVID. Everybody forgot there's flus and head colds.
Nobody gives a shit about COVID anymore. I mean, unless you're compromised. And if you are, well, you wear a mask.
And strep throat and shit like that out there. Give me a break. Thank you, Linda. I know you care, but still.
There you go. That's Betty's natural response. The woman is just trying to be nice and, you know, express some concern for her. Linda, it's okay. You can Linda, come on over here. It's much more fun over here. Now, we're not Betty fans, but Linda, I promise I'll make you laugh. I'll make you laugh at this mad cow's expense.
It's not COVID.
Oh, God, Betty.
Doesn't this get exhausting?
All of this is
exhausting. All the animals here that are trying to.
Oh, the animals. It's so exhausting being Betty. Betty is the hardest working unemployed woman in the world. God, I'm going to have laryngitis by the time this is over.
Father, because they didn't get his attention. That's
Betty. That exhausting. Narrative's getting old.
People making up lies about an innocent father while they work for the people that have the most answers. That gets exhausting.
Oh God, Betty, I don't know how you
to find out that JLR is in
Betty. In the words of Ayn Rand. I always say Ayn Rand. Betty, what did Atlas do when the weight of the world got to be too much on his shoulders? She'll have no fucking idea. So I'm going to give you a clue, Betty. He shrugged. Shrug, Betty. Shrug.
In bed with the Proudfoots.
Oh, in bed with the Proudfoots.
You know, finding out that these horrible felony channels, and the reason why I call them felony channels is because the people that run the channels are felons. Okay.
Well, bitch, I ain't a felon, so I don't know who you're talking to.
Hey, they're convicted felons. One of them.
The only reason you're not a convicted felon, I would imagine, is a few strokes of good luck. Or could it be because you're a generational, you're a 12th generation bullhorn? Yeah, Betty, trust me. Timing and some exceedingly good luck are probably the only two reasons you are not a felon.
You guys know who, the
You
fat
look like
cow,
one.
right? She sold liquor to or cigarettes.
Cigarettes? Oh my God, are you kidding? Tell me more.
Or something to teenagers. She can't even get a job at the freaking 7-Eleven.
Well, bitch, you couldn't get a job at the 7-Eleven. What the hell are you talking about? And for your information, my understanding was she actually was at work at a job, something you haven't met. And I think the kids had fake IDs. But guess what? If the ATF is watching, they don't give a shit if it's a fake ID. Listen, Betty, I used to be a bartender, and I know how this works. And the ATF will routinely send undercover agents to all different. It's just a matter of routine. It's not even like, oh, we're scoping out that store because we think Skittles are coming in the front, but cigarettes are leaving out the back. It's just something they do to every establishment that sells A, T, or F. Mainly A and T, not to be confused with TNA. Nobody would. Oof. Your T's are no, and the A. Anyway, Betty, it's happened to many a person that has, because they don't look closely enough. And believe it or not, the people that own these establishments that are selling the A and the T, well, they want the green. So, you get busy and you don't look as closely as you should. And you sold cigarettes to a minor. Oh my God. I mean, come on. Idiot.
Okay. These are people that cannot make money. And
I don't think she might have sold cigarettes to minors, but I don't think that she strangled her mother. I don't think she knocked her ex-husband's teeth loose. I don't think that she's had multiple DUIs where she had a scale and a little bit of ecstasy or whatever the fuck she had. Betty, that is. I mean, come on, Sister Christian, spare us.
in any other way, they would literally be on welfare, and most of them are on welfare.
Bitch, you better be real careful because I think you're on welfare.
Hiding their money from YouTube because they're criminals. And what is it? What is a criminal?
Oh, well, you would know. Please tell us what a criminal is, because if anybody would know, it's you, Betty.
Somebody that doesn't really care about the law. And you know who Chris and Katie grunt to? Criminals. Look at SF. SF literally filed a copyright complaint, a federal copyright complaint against me on behalf of somebody else. That was illegal as hell.
It's not fucking illegal as hell. It was her video that you stole and you re-uploaded it after you were told not to. He assisted her with the filing fee, because my understanding is it's quite a lot of money, and he helped her fill out the paperwork. So fuck you.
So you got a PI that doesn't mind breaking the law. And these are the people.
Everybody breaks the law except for Betty. Betty does not break the law except for all those times when she did.
People that the Proudfoots are associating with to help them. Criminals. Not just criminals. I mean, I've been arrested, but I have 2 charges.
How many times have you been arrested, by the way? Quite a few.
That I was convicted for were misdemeanors.
Well, maybe, but You're a slow learner at the very least. You've had 2 DUIs, you've had drug charges, you've had you are on the domestic violence registry. I believe, well, I have the screenshots. I think it's at least 6 times, maybe 8. Save it. Save it, Sister Christian.
All right. And that was over 20 years ago.
You're full of shit. Last I checked, 2017 is not 20 years ago. Isn't 2017 about 7 years? More like it, Betty?
These people are felons. They can't even vote. They can't register a gun. They can't own a gun.
You should not own a gun. Oh my God. That doesn't help me sleep at night, knowing that you're out cruising the streets of Florida with a gun. And oh my God, this is really rich coming from somebody like her. Seriously. She's been arrested numerous times. And I don't give a shit if she was convicted. It's not normal. It is not normal to be arrested that many times. Sorry.
And these are the people, the Proudfoots, these Navy people are running to. Freaking criminals.
Well, when did you last serve in the military? When did you serve your country, Betty? Oh, yeah, they wouldn't take you. There's no way. There's no fucking way. Unless we get involved in World War III and we're down to about 12 eligible people to serve in the military, that's the only way they'd take you. So.
To do their heavy lifting. And
never noticed that? She's very jealous of anyone who has accomplished more than her, which, let's face it, that's most people. That's what all this is. This is all just spite and jealousy. That's what it is.
Now they got the Sumner County Sheriff involved.
What? Bitch, you are like
Sumner County Sheriff
all over
is
the
working
place.
side by side. At least somebody in the Sheriff's Department is working side by side with.
It's too bad you don't have a name for when you just dog whistled and told all your morons to fucking pick the phone up and call the FBI, call the county. Like, you're such an idiot. What's the name? Someone. It's just someone. Wow.
Felons and the Proudfoots. Make that make sense. Felons and the Proudfoots. That's a great look for a sheriff's department.
I don't even know what she's talking about. Besides, I know who the Proudfoots are. Oh, here we go. More ads. How many ads are we up to? Who's keeping track of the ads?
I've lost a couple by accident, and a couple of them would need to be pulled. And now the rest
Betty,
of them right
this
now
is where you
are just
call
like
to get
cancer.
that shitty partial in your mouth.
The one next to it gets sick. The next,
so that your teeth look like they came from the same person. I mean, I get it. People have dental issues and it's very expensive, but like yours don't even look like they belong in the same person's head. How many ads are we up to? Hello to anyone who came in, and to anyone who's new, welcome. I'm not very good at screaming at Betty in one window and paying attention to the chat in the other, but welcome. Sit back, relax, and hopefully I will entertain you. Betty just wants to scream at you and shame you. We don't do that here. No, I just want to make you laugh.
That's a great look. Eric Craddock. Great look.
Are you seriously talking about a great look? Looking like a whole ass fucking Eileen Warnos, Joe Dirt, and Dusty Rhodes had a baby, and that's you. You have no place talking about anybody's look, good or otherwise.
Great look. There's also a rumor that I have an arrest warrant. I can guarantee there's
she
no
does
arrest
not
warrant
have an arrest warrant.
Okay.
Not yet, but give it an hour.
These make up shit
For whatever reason. No, nobody made it up, asshole. For people who do not have a legal education like me, and well, you just claim to have one, but you don't speak like you have even any education, never mind a legal one. For whatever reason, the way that the TRO is listed in the docket, it shows active, and then it says something about type, and it says warrant. I don't know why it says that. I don't know why they do what they do there. But she does not have a warrant. But it came from the docket. It came straight from the docket. And people who, and listen, I have legal education, and I don't know why they call it a warrant, but I guess because they're trying to serve you that pesky paperwork. So I guess they treat it as a warrant. I don't know, Betty. I have no idea, but people didn't just pull that out of their ass. They read it straight from the docket. They, like myself, they just don't know what it means.
Nobody even fact finds them or makes them produce one iota of a receipt.
Says the woman that has sat up here for 17 minutes almost and talked about it's somebody, and I want you to call the FBI and tell them somebody is, working with the Proudfoots. Betty, your next stop is going to be even more fucking disheveled. I don't know how that could happen, but yeah, you're going to be that person like wandering up and down Walmart talking to people that none of the rest of us can see. Like, you are every day it seems you are losing more touch with reality.
And people need to look at, what is it called? I think
she shames people for every single thing that she herself is doing within even this live. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Subscribers in here brought it out. It's called like
that's how I know warrant. That she's not fucking right.
A huff warrant or something like that. It's related to the protective order.
Got it all together. Like,
and it just
they don't do shit.
It just
like that
informs them who the victim and who the other person is. That's all it is.
Hey, Betty, sucking on that vape. I'll let that softball go by. Sucking on that vape, that's probably not helping your very unfortunate, chest problem.
And that's the way it looks. So it just basically tells them that they don't need approval of the court to make an arrest if something is violated. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And everybody's running with this bullshit. And that's what it is. That's why everybody was so confused about Katie and me and stuff like that.
I don't know, Bets. You have been arrested a time or fucking 12. So do you see where people could, kind of just naturally come to the conclusion that, maybe Betty does have a warrant. I mean, it does say warrant.
That's the way it was set up in their system. That's the way it looks like in their system.
That is exactly what it looks like.
When they have the right to make that arrest immediately upon my acknowledgement. And I have to be acknowledged by actual paper service, not just saying, I know
open the door,
out there that exists. But people that don't know the law,
like
again, are stupid. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know
people that don't know the law, like you. How many attempts are you now on your lawsuit with Queen Bee? Is this the third try the judge has given you? And by the way, that fucking judge needs to shut that shit down. Like that's getting old. Betty's had more than her day in court. Betty's had enough fucking days in court for you and me and everybody in this chat. I mean, God almighty. Everybody who doesn't know the law is stupid. Well, you don't fucking know the law. So, you don't know a lot.
I'm offending some people in my chat, but you know what? In the world of Google,
sweetie, you better be real careful here, because it's one thing for people like me to sit and fucking laugh at you and call you out for the clown that you are. I wouldn't give you one single penny if my life depended on it. You better be careful. So, you saying all the stupid shit you say to the rest of us that wouldn't go to your chat, don't go to your chat, who see you for the fucking clown that you are. It's just comical. But when you start getting shitty like that with the people that are paying your bills, those would be the people in the chat. You might want to tread lightly here, Betty.
Ignorance is a choice.
Yeah,
okay?
You make a choice every day.
And that goes for my people too. If you guys need to look at something, don't come asking a creator for it. Go on and do your research. Because that's how you get lied to. That's how you get manipulated. It's because you're trusting an idiot to tell you.
I only see one.
And the people that
idiot
are
talking
coming
to
with
me
facts
right
and
now.
truth,
That's you.
they're telling you not to believe it. So do your own damn research. Problem solved.
You should take your own advice.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It's nice to see you, my love. What?
My love.
Father-in-law's 100th birthday. Woo!
My
Well,
God,
tell him, boy.
that is so fucking creepy. When she goes, my love. There's something about someone that, if I had to guess, has never loved one single thing in this world ever. There's something really creepy about her calling someone in the chat, my love. She doesn't love you.
Poor Betty
Love
says,
anything.
happy 100th.
Oh, you look.
Happy 100.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
Happy 100. You look like you want to kill her. I mean, wow. God.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you look like
you guys are very blessed. You guys are very blessed.
Just like you.
Oh, our beautiful crime stories is up in the house.
Oh,
nice to see you, Emma.
Betty.
I hope you're doing well. Big
God,
Back Mike, Mama Bear. It's
that's
nice
that
to
lady
see
that
you.
lives in England.
Yeah, I didn't want to take yesterday off. I literally tried to do a live like 2 times yesterday, but my head was so foggy. Like it was.
Well, I mean, let's
tired
of
overpaying for rent.
I think that.
What if we told you that you could live somewhere
there's probably
for
not a lot of people live right now. But I do appreciate that.
You know, and I had, and like my voice is back. I mean, you guys hear how hoarse it is. It was nothing yesterday. Like, I don't understand myself. I didn't even try to
As
talk.
opposed to today when
it was bad yesterday. And I just kept sipping on taking this. And then finally I'm
gonna change my my 2 people that had the baby that made this. Eileen Warnos and the Mucinex man. Oh my God.
Talked to Tony and he's like, hey, you need to get this stuff, take it every 4 hours. So I started taking that every 4 hours along with my vitamins.
Oh, your vitamins. Betty, whatever those vitamins are, what are they, 1 a day? Centrum Silver, whatever the fuck you're taking, they're not working.
By nighttime when I was swallowing, I'm like,
why
this is gone. Like you can tell it's going away because I know how my throat felt for like the last 3 days.
I mean,
and
there's
like,
something
thank goodness,
so gross.
I can handle a lot, but one thing I can't handle is a sore throat. I mean, I can handle fever. I can handle.
Gee, I wonder if she won't make eye contact. Is because she's full of shit. Maybe
things going through areas that things coming out quicker than they should. I can handle a lot. Okay, I can handle a lot. But one thing I don't.
Betty's always a lady.
Like handling is a sore throat in ears. My ears.
Yeah.
Because I'm deaf in one
I
ear.
wish I was deaf in 2 ears right about now.
I only hear out of 1 ear. So,
that
if that gets filled with
your ass up,
fluid, then I got to worry about
how
that.
many times are you going to tell us
I'm
this?
literally deaf. So I have to pay close attention to my ears. So far it's gotten a little bit in there, but
we don't want anything happening to
not
your
too
other
bad.
ear.
I think a little bit that's in there is what's making me so dizzy. But Sebastian Rogers.
Maybe because you're in another fucking galaxy somewhere. Maybe your equilibrium is trying to get you back down to Earth because you seem to be inhabiting another galaxy.
For those that are just coming in and want to know what's going on, Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old.
Same old shit that's always going on. Look, she's like a fucking robot. Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old boy who went missing from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. His mom and his dad, they're Satan, and his father has made the very wise choice to hire Bullhorn Betty as I don't know what.
Year-old boy that disappeared from his home inside his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
It's like riding a bike.
There with
the only thing that changes is the name of the kid. Like it's just so robotic and unemotional because she doesn't have any emotion tied to it.
His mother woke up at 6 a.m., says he was gone, says she checked all the windows, doors, and locks, and they were all locked and secure. She doesn't understand why he would walk out of the house and run away from home, even though she never saw him walk away from the house or run away from home. He's never had a history of running away from home. According to Katie, they didn't have a fight, so there's no reason for him to run away from home. And the fact
I don't know. I've heard people opining on a few reasons that he could have run away from home. And I don't have an opinion because I don't know about this. I don't know enough about this case to have an opinion on that. But I can tell you that the couple things that I have heard from people that I think are good creators, I heard someone make a case for a very legitimate reason why he could have walked away. And of course, Betty knows a lot about having kids and how they act.
I talked to his father about the flashlights. His father tells me that he has several flashlights at his house. So why? And we also heard from Katie and Chris how if Sebastian doesn't clean his room, everything goes into a garbage bag and goes out to the garbage.
You know what? I used to do that with my son. It wasn't everything, but I called it the mean clean. I don't remember. How old was he? I don't know, but he was, I can't remember now because he's, much older. But I do remember that I would say, okay, and the task was always appropriate to his age, but I'd say, you need to pick your room up, put your toys in, whatever. And he would know. It's the mean clean. And whatever I have to come in here and pick up is going in the trash. Now, I was full of shit. I never followed through on it unless it was Legos because I was tired of stepping on those things. And there were 75,000 of them in another bucket somewhere. So calm down on that. It sounds like, though, from what I've heard in the past by their own admission, that Chris really did, I think, throw his things out. But Betty, you know what? Maybe you should, I don't know, shut the fuck up because you can't even raise a puppy. So don't talk to any of us about how to raise a teenager, especially one who's got the added challenges of being autistic. Okay?
So how do we know that his flashlight, this little flashlight that he carries around, wasn't out there in the garbage? We don't.
That's right.
And why didn't he have more than just the one flashlight?
No.
Because according to his father, he's got several at his father's house. So if he
Now
had
the other
this
cat's in here
fetish
playing
for
with the
flashlights,
strings on my dress.
why would he only have one tiny little keychain flashlight that could easily be missed?
Betty, God damn, she's so fucking dumb. Betty, do you understand? Well, you should, because this is kind of where your emotional maturity seemed to have stopped at that of a young teenager. Do you have any idea when I say that teenagers, even ones who don't have any special challenges, well, they're typically pretty fucking irrational, especially when they are upset and something's not going their way. Okay? And Betty tries to make it sound like Sebastian was a lot less high functioning than I believe he was, based on what I've heard, and not from her, because I don't give a fuck what she says, because she knows nothing. All teenagers can be very irrational and, get mad about something and make a dumb decision subsequent to that. So, as usual, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Misplaced or hidden. So if we take that into account, it's possible that he didn't leave even with the flashlight, which even makes it a little more bizarre. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yes. Scooby and Shaggy, Velma, Daphne. What do you think? I think the whole case hinges on those flashlights and those meddling kids. Gosh, she's so stupid.
An autistic boy not taking any of his ish items, the things that he needs to keep busy and occupied.
As I just stated, hell, Betty, I can remember when I was a teenager and I would get pissed about something and I would walk out of my house just like that and go walk to the other side of my subdivision and go hang out with my girlfriend. And I'd come home in, an hour or two. I remember more than one time when I was upset with my mom about something. We were fighting about something, and I would just walk out the door with whatever I had on. So, y'all, I need to let the dog out. So I'm going to let the intro play for just a moment. So bear with me, please. We'll be right back after this brief commercial message from our sponsor.
Father, you should know I've been going solo. Want my love, baby, earn it. Yeah, dancing on my own. See if you can follow. Got me feeling alive. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs, every time. Let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now, I do what I want. Are you ready now? 'Cause it won't be easy. Only get what you work for. Gotta go all out whenever you see me. Don't be wasting my time. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs, every time. Let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs, every time. Let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. I do what I want.
Good morning. What's new, pussycat?
Thought that you should know I've been going solo. Want my love, baby, earn it. Yeah, dancing on my own. See if you can follow. Got me feeling alive. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs, every time. Let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now, I do what I want. Are you ready now? 'Cause it won't be easy. Only get what you work for. Gotta go all out whenever you see me. Don't be wasting my time. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs, every time. Let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now.
We're back. Okay. Oh, good God. It is so hot outside. Oh, I took Bob and then I took myself. Okay. What time is it? 3 o'clock. All right. We got a little bit of time. We're going to try and finish this one up.
No Twitch, no flashlight, no apparently no gadgets that he plays with, pennies, paper clips, none of that. None of that went with him.
Like what is this fucking
So
next
why did
thing
he
she
leave?
does?
How did he know to leave? He's not even according to his parents, he doesn't know direction very well.
Just because he doesn't know direction, that doesn't mean he couldn't leave. I'm not stating an opinion one way or another. What I am saying is, Betty, I know you're much older than you look, but let's not forget, okay, what it was like to be a teenager. And you're 10 years closer to being able to remember than I am. But I can absolutely remember being pissed and saying, sayonara.
How would he have known where to go?
Well, maybe he wouldn't have, and that's part of the problem. And let's not forget, she wants you to think that Sebastian had a mentality far less than it sounds to me like was the reality of the situation. And she acts as if he didn't drive up and down his street. I mean, typically when you go into school, you're probably basically driving the same route every day. I don't know, maybe Katie changed it up once in a while, traffic or whatever. But for her own purposes, and because she's aligned herself with Seth, she wants to make everything. I just, from what I've heard, I don't believe that he was. I think he was functioning. See, because I'm not like Betty, and Betty would prefer to point out all kinds of deficits. I feel like for her own gross, disgusting purposes, she wants to make Sebastian sound like he was not as high functioning as I believe he was. And that's only based on what I've heard. So I don't obviously have any personal knowledge of that, but you know, she wants to make it sound like, you know, he was in the body of a 15-year-old, but mentally he was, you know, 5 or 6. That's the way she's trying to play it off. I feel like he was probably, you know, like most 15-year-olds, very full of hormones. They can be very erratic. They can, you know, freak out at the drop of a dime. And because of some of the, you know, issues that he had and the challenges he dealt with, well, maybe he was even more emotional than the average teenager. And the average teenager is emotional as hell. So, Betty, shut the fuck up.
According to Katie, she or somebody in the family is always with him at all times.
Oh, so bullshit. Come on. And I haven't paid attention, so I don't know. Did Katie actually say that? I find that very hard to believe because it sounds absurd. I mean, if he was a 2-year-old, yes, you would be with him at all times. He's 15. I mean, as usual, Betty wants to minimize this child and make him appear, I think, much less than he actually was, because that suits her purposes. That drives her fucked up narrative.
The idea of this third party, this boogeyman, so to speak, is hard to believe.
We've never had any kids, so it should be very hard for you to understand. But of course, this, with like all things, Betty knows better.
Why I switched to this hair color?
There have been these fucking ads. We're up to we're close to 10. I know that. Betty, do you know? You should know, because there's an entire ID TV series. I can't think of the name at the moment. Something evil. I don't know, but it's a whole series that takes place around footage, you know, CCTV footage. Do you know how many of those episodes are teenagers who went to go meet someone that they were covertly communicating with online? I mean, she wants to act like, oh, that never happens. He wouldn't do that. Well, that's for his parents to say. And parents, oftentimes do not know everything their kids are up to.
And if it is possible, such as if we took
Anything's
Nick Harris
possible
as
in this
truthful,
world.
and
Is
the
it
fact
probable?
that Chris
I
and
don't know.
Katie are not suspects in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, and that's pissing
then
you off, isn't it?
Where did their son go? if he didn't walk out of the home. That would imply a third party came inside the home and took him. So why is Eric Craddock not letting his community know that there is a boogeyman?
I don't know. My guess would be because he doesn't believe that, but I don't know. I'm not in the man's head. And he does not. This case is 6 months old. Do you think that law enforcement has not had a chance to sit back and watch how you clowns operate, people like you? And finally, I hope they and people who are going to make it their business of trying to stay one step ahead of the tragedy pimp skanks like you. You know, when a case happens that you all decide to get your hooks into because it'll grow your bank balance because you're too fucking lazy, stupid, etc. to get a real job. You have decided that your job is to, cannibalize always missing children too. How come you don't cover any adults? I mean, I know in the past she's made the appearance of looking for an adult, but never like the kids. They've finally, hopefully, through enough of them sitting back and watching this, and all the people that want to warn them about people like you, but especially you in particular, because it's not enough for you to just do it online. You will get in your car that's a pile of shit and completely unreliable and drive hundreds of miles to go stand in front of someone's house, a business, a municipal building, etc. So I think they've hopefully gotten wise to people like you, and they're going to protect their investigation as much as they possibly can. And I don't know why you think that because someone goes missing, that means law enforcement is obligated to tell everybody, not only in that county, the actual people who pay their bills, which you don't even pay your own fucking bills from the things I've seen and heard. You're definitely not paying the sheriffs. So nobody owes you jack shit. I hope
on
that
the loose in their community, snatching kids out of their bed. Absolutely, Angela. It makes absolutely no sense at all.
I think I just made a really
and
good
why are
case
they giving
for why it makes
favoritism?
perfect sense.
And how do we know that these people working with Chris and Katie from inside their department aren't leaking them information about the case? We got concerns here.
Well, Betty, under your theory, you think Chris and Katie did it? Exactly what information do you think they need to leak to them? What they've discovered? Because if they are in fact guilty of what you accuse them of, they know what they did.
The public of Sumner County should have great concerns here because this could be your child.
They shouldn't. They should be just like normal fucking people and see something come up on the news and say, oh God, I hope they find that child. And, if they have a day when they invite the public to come and help, search or bring water and other items to the people who are searching, that's what they should do.
This could be your child and your sheriff telling you to go F off.
What can somebody tell me? What is she talking about? And I guarantee you that sheriff did not tell anybody to fuck off. I mean, come on. There's no way.
I would be like,
that's her
he
interpretation.
Doesn't need to be elected. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Crime Stories. God bless you.
Oh, God bless you.
So
like, why would you give this skank a fucking dime? I don't get it. I mean, prices on everything are through the roof, sky high. People are having to make do with what they make that buys them significantly less at the grocery store. And why anybody would give a fucking unemployed fucking grifter, a nasty one. She's got the shittiest disposition. It is beyond me why anybody would give her a wooden nickel. I do not get it. And Betty, it's no skin off my ass, honey, because if I wanted to be monetized, I would be. I don't need to be.
So what is the community going to do? Sonny's
But
dead. Eric Craddock
I donate
is
to
now
people.
the acting
I wouldn't give
sheriff
her
of the county. He's running for county sheriff on the ballot. I don't know who else is running. Can somebody send me the person he's running against? Is there other people on the ballot?
Here's Betty.
Because they need some counseling.
Betty thinks she's going to influence all of Sumner County. Sumter, is it Sumter or Sumner? Whatever the fuck. Betty thinks that she's going to have a real hand in influencing which way this election goes. You are fucking delusional. Get help. Log the fuck off and get help. Go find a real life. Because clearly you don't have one.
Happy to give them some political counseling on how to win their elected seat against Eric Craddock. I've got a lot of information here that I'd like to pass off to them.
Shit.
If it were my child, I want
any way, shape,
by my side. Thank you.
That's how desperate she is for
attention. But you know what?
And how little life she has.
It's the whole
not even her county
situation here. Hold on, let me see what Nani wrote. I really want to know if KP and CP have left Sebastian's room with all his belongings, or if KP have.
Lady, like what is wrong with these people? That seriously, like that's what these people care about. Are Sebastian's clothes and toys still in his room? Oh my God!
Cleared it all out.
Wow,
that's a good question because
I'm not losing sleep over any of this.
Summer, they cleared her all out. I felt since this started that someone.
You know what, Benny? I can tell you this because you're not the only one who's been to Rogersville, Tennessee. I was there about 2 years ago. I mean, I go to Knoxville every year at Christmas, but 2 years ago, I went to Summer's house. In fact, I waved at Don as he was coming down the incredibly steep driveway, and Don was doing this, and I was doing this, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and you won't understand this, Betty, because you don't possess any, but I decided to fall back on my feminine wiles. And I looked and I said, and he looked at me and waved to me. But what I was getting at is I can tell you what toys they didn't get rid of. They didn't get rid of the toys that were littered all over the side of the house because I could see them. In fact, I have them on video. I've never shared any of the footage that I took because I just did it for myself because I wanted to see. And I was only about an hour away. I went to all the places. I've been to the hippie hut. I drove right by the Sonic. I've been to, what is that gorgeous park called? Warrior's Path. And I was on Ben Hill. And I was at the church. That was the staging area. And I can tell you, 2 years ago, Summer's Toys, there was a little Jeep, like a Barbie Jeep, that was absolutely sun bleached and probably rotted from the sun. There were all kinds of toys littered off the side of that house. So Betty doesn't know as much as she would like you to think she knows. And I can't speak to the inside of the house. And I personally think that they both know exactly what happened to Summer. But I don't know what happened on the inside of the house, but I know that they hadn't gotten rid of any of the toys that were on the side of the house because I saw them. And like I said, I have the footage in my phone.
And their LE was leaking information to the Proud Feet. Yes, I do. I believe it now.
Oh my God. Hey, moron. It's Proudfoot, the plural of the proper name, proper noun. Proudfoot. It's not Proud Feet. Oh my God. It's Proudfoots. God, you are. But this is a member of the media, folks. This is your investigative journalist, Bullhorn Betty. My God.
More than ever. From the report, I can't tell you where I got it from, but it has to do with my case. And that's when I got wind of this.
Wait a minute. We got to back that up. Did she just say her case? 2518. We're going to go back to 25 because I need to hear that again. I swear to you, she just said her case.
And their LE was leaking information to the Proud Feet. Yes, I do. I believe it now more than ever. From the report, I can't tell you where I got it from, but it has
some fucking crazy sub.
Has to do with my case.
Wait, which case? Your restraining order case? Your case with Queen Bee? Your pretend cases that are up in your mind? Which, Betty, we're going to need you to be more specific here.
And that's when I got wind of this this connection with Sumner County and Sumner County sheriff employee.
Translation: some fucking sub thinking they're being a do-gooder with too much time on their hands sent Betty an email saying there's Raggy. There's something fishy going on. Oh, Betty. I hope you're giving them whistleblower status, but more importantly, I hope you're getting a name because somebody that's not going to suffice. I ain't going to cut the mustard back.
Ex-worker said Terry Bowersox was said to have a PO come in like 2 times a week. He'd take them in his office and chat it up. Yeah. So if they're complicit, if there's any sheriff that.
Okay, I'm confused here. And like I said, I haven't followed this case because of dirtbags like her. I don't want anything to do with all that circus. It was Terry Bowersox, a probation officer. Is that what I'm gathering? And Betty, I know you wouldn't understand this because you don't have a job or an office. Well, you got your little home office, that unfortunate sweet and low problem. But Betty, people who have offices and jobs, well, they do occasionally bring people into their office once or twice a week, I would imagine. But what? When she said when he was a PO, he would bring people into his office once or twice a week. So I'm just confused, but whatever. Of course, she's going to try and make whatever the man's profession was. Here's all I know. He had a job. He had an office. And once or twice a week, he would bring people into the office. Raggy. Like, what is nefarious about that? Maybe she's going to explain it. Probably not, though.
That is complicit in knowingly helping somebody lie under oath. That is they get reprimanded or terminated. Like those.
What's going to happen to you when it's proven you lied under oath? Because you've lied in your where is your greatest hits? Oh God, I wish I could reach those. They're down there. I kid you not. I have a stack of paper because I was cleaning up my office yesterday. Remember, I told you guys I had to put the setup back because we've had to move a whole bunch of stuff to accommodate my new tiny computer, but we had to put shit everywhere. I've got 2 big monitors now. I saw it yesterday. It's about that high of all her bullshit. And there are numerous places in there where she blatantly, flagrantly lied under oath. Or, she didn't have to raise her right hand, but God knows she's probably done that plenty. But she had to, sign. I swear that the foregoing is true to the best of my knowledge. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So you should slow your roll, bitch.
Those are, you can't have
no,
because these are officers that are filling out affidavits for court cases that are, criminal cases. You can't have somebody that's allowing other people knowingly lie under oath and then assist them with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's bad news, Ginger Girl. Let me see what we got here. No one is running against Craddock. Somebody needs to. That's just.
Why don't you do it, Betty?
What is wrong with their community? If you guys want law and order, you need to get law and order. This
Law and Order, like the TV series written by Dick Wolf, that Law and Order. Betty's a Law and Order girl. Yeah, right after she wasn't for all those years and all those arrests. Yeah.
Wow. That is not good. These people need to get more involved in their politics. You guys are screwing yourselves.
You should get less involved, because there's nothing worse than a fucking ignorant idiot who thinks she knows everything that wants to get involved in politics. Betty, you're not politics material, okay? Most politicians, they're, most of them are fairly smart. But more importantly, they know how to be nice. And several of them are quite attractive. They at least know how to appear professional. So you got an uphill battle here, Shug. So if that's what you're thinking, oh God, Betty, we got an uphill climb.
Absolutely screwing yourselves. Nobody running against
Are
Eric
you
Craddock.
worrying about the other?
What kind of horse crap is that?
In the union, I mean, you're all
that is
involved in Florida politics.
Boys.
Betty's involvement, and Betty thinks she's in politics because she goes to all the local fucking Trump rallies, because she terrorizes the podium at the BOCC meeting every fucking 3 months, or 3 minutes every month. That's what it is. 3 minutes every month. She's very concerned about the politics in Sumter County. Betty, what about the other 48 great states of our union? Are you worrying? Are their politics keeping you up at night too, honey?
Right there.
Why
That is good
is she
old boys.
staring at the
right there
ceiling? I don't get it. Don't be jealous because none of the good old boys want you in their club.
Well, then it's time for us to go digging up dirt. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if Eric Craddock is acting,
I don't know about you, but I make it a policy. This is just a personal crimes and fashion policy. I do not fuck with people that have the power to arrest me. I just don't do it.
This way, and I said, you don't want this. I mean, I've had so many people reach out to me from their community,
yes, I'm sure you
asking me to please do something.
Oh, Lord, Betty, please save us, save our community, Betty. God.
This is not going to go anywhere. They have been expressing, you guys know that. You guys have watched it along with me, telling us how corrupt this area is, how corrupt Gallatin is, how corrupt Sumner County is, Sumner County Sheriff is. And I said, I hear that all the time, that it's hard to believe. And, so far you find some.
It shouldn't be hard for you to believe. You want to always believe the worst in everyone. That's kind of who you are.
Type of, dirt here or there, but nothing to this magnitude. And I feel almost like Gilgo Beach in a way.
Oh, God.
It makes me wonder.
You cannot stop talking about Gilgo Beach. The last 3 lives I've covered of her, she manages to work Gilgo Beach in there. You got anything else? Because this is, we're talking apples and bananas, okay?
What is going on here?
I don't.
Who's
I
running
ask
this
myself that every day.
I talked to that Major Tim Bailey, and he gave me a sense of comfort. He gave me a sense of,
Betty, go get laid. I mean, you talk to, what is it? You got a thing for a man in uniform? What? I talked to whoever she just said. It gave me a sense of comfort. Oh my God, you're so fucking dramatic. Like, Betty, you need to get out more. You really do. Like, wow.
that he thought this case was, that they were working hard on this case. He gave me the sense that there was.
That's because he can't say what he really wants to say to you, which is, look, you nutty ass bitch. You know nothing. We're telling you nothing. We're never going to tell you anything. And you don't live here and we don't answer to you. Could you please get the fuck out of our county?
No corruption, that there's all this
Call Scooby, telling to pull that
whatever,
mystery van up and
they're taking
pick up
this case
those
seriously.
passengers.
Like, I really, after talking to Major Tim Bailey, really believed in their law enforcement, and I still did up until.
Wow, this is Betty's version of Hey, yeah, honey. Yep. It was a great time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got your number. Yep. I'll call you in the morning. Oh God, Betty, you are pathetic.
Until I found out there's law enforcement assisting Chris and Katie. And we got Nick Barris now saying that they're not suspects.
Oh, Nick, poor
but
Nick.
not saying that Seth isn't a suspect.
Nick, I'm really sorry that all you did was comment for a story when whatever news outlet that was reached out. Oh God, Nick, I'm sorry. You probably had no idea about this fucking mad cow and what you unleashed just by being an actual credentialed member of the media and, just answering a fact-based question. Sorry, Nick.
And so now I'm sitting here saying, now
you got Bullhorn Broderick on your ass.
This is starting to look really, really warped from my purview. Really, really.
Oh my God, from her purview. You have no fucking purview. That's your problem, Betty. Kids, shall we look at the definition of purview? I mean, I can tell you, I don't need to look it up, but for the benefit of idiot Betty and other people, something that's within your purview, that would be like within your control, within your domain, maybe your scope. Let's see what Google has to say about purview. Oh, Betty, this doesn't bode well for you. Me getting ready to Google the definition of purview, not for me because I know what it means, but me getting ready to Google the definition of purview, it does not bode well for your IQ score, Betty. She is so fucking stupid. I mean, honestly. Well, look at that. It's almost verbatim what that little bitch Crimes and Fashion just said. Let's share it. Oh, damn it. I'm not going to share it because I'd have to get out of the other one. Purview, the scope of influence or concerns of something. Let's go back and listen to what Bets just said. Just remember the scope of influence.
Really warped. And
wait a minute. 28. We'll just go back to, because I love to always highlight Betty's ignorance. And this is another good one. Betty struggles a lot with the English language.
Suspects, but not saying that Seth isn't a suspect. And so now I'm sitting here saying, okay, now I'm starting to see this. Mm-hmm. This is starting to look really, really warped from my purview.
It's starting to look really, really warped from her purview. From her scope of influence. It's starting to look really, really warped from her scope of influence. Okay, Betty. Carry on. Her ignorance is fucking staggering. It really is. And I find myself saying this every single live stream. I feel like I lose IQ points every time I have to talk about her.
Really, really warped. And
from Betty.
It's getting to the point where I feel like it's so warped that I'm saying something about it and calling out the Sumner County Sheriff.
God, Betty, you're going to be just like Norma Ray, and we're going to fucking we got Karen Silkwood, Norma Ray, and Bullskank Betty.
I'm sorry. I'm going to do it. He can like me, hate me. I don't give a rat's ass. I'll be there if he wants to arrest me. More power to him.
Nick Barris is going to arrest you? Isn't he a journalist? Wait, are we back to the sheriff now? She's a little manic.
To him to arrest somebody for not committing a crime. More power to him, but he's not going to shut my mouth.
Who came up with this? Oh my God, that is so good. Who came up with that so I can credit them? Let me see. I'm going to go up a little further. Oh my God. Jerry, I don't know. We've all been asking ourselves for a few years why she won't do anything about that hair. I guess it's like her security blanket. I don't know who came up with Baron Brockovich, but that is so damn good. And please, by all means, if you're still in the chat, whoever came up with that, please raise your hand so that the teacher can acknowledge you. You're going to get a special treat after class. Oh my God, that was fantastic. Baron Brockovich. Oh, damn. Meg. Oh, Meg. Girl, I'm writing it down right now. Baron Brockovich. Okay, and I'm not like Betty. I don't steal other people. Like, I won't take credit for something I didn't do. Courtesy of Meg. Meg, I like the way you think. I used to be able to think like that when I was a little younger. Oh, girl, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. That is one of the most clever things I've heard on here. So thank you for that. And the whole chat is thanking you. I think everybody right now, do y'all have like little trophy emojis? If so, please put a bunch of trophy emojis in the chat for Meg. Baron Brockovich. Girl, I promise you will see that on the next thumbnail. I got to make sure I keep track of this piece of paper. Oh, I'll just leave it right here on my keyboard. Oh my God. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. There we go. Look at your first place cup. Hello, anybody who has come in since I was last talking to the chat. Y'all know how I am. Despite the fact that I now have 2 monitors, I still cannot scream at Betty and read the chat at the same time. So hello and thank you for hanging out. All right. We're trying to get through this, mad cow.
But when I found out community members went there and he gave them a cold shoulder, would not answer their question, and basically told them he's not going to be commenting on this ever again.
I say that makes him very
we got some
wise
serious
man.
problems here.
No,
he's not going to comment on this ever again.
He doesn't owe you or any of the fucking weirdos that hang out in your chat anything, Betty.
That's what he told them.
That makes him smart.
It's done for him.
Protecting the integrity of his investigation.
And I don't know how that makes
Betty,
the audience.
If you care so much about justice, then you should also be very glad that that is what he's doing.
Here feel about that. But I do have receipts. I've got them on this phone that they were sent in text. I brought my other phone in and realized the text messages are on here.
You fucking weirdo. Hey, dumbass. I know you're always behind the curve on everything. Betty, don't you know that you don't have to get a burner phone anymore? You can just get a burner number. It's an app. Oh.
So the only way I can get it on here to read it to you, to show you, is if I had downloaded it and put it in Messenger so I could pick it up on.
Oh, Betty, nobody ever accused you of
Chris's age. He went to school with Chris.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of people in that county and family members. I'm hearing family members.
Do you think that could be because it's a very small little town? Could that be? Or were they all plotting this since high school? I mean, come on, Velma. Oh, wait. Sorry. Velma was the smart one. You damn sure aren't Daphne because she was the hot one. You're Shaggy. All right, Shaggy, because Shaggy was the extra stupid one. He just happened to have a driver's license. Betty, do you have a driver's license? How many DUIs do you get in the state of Florida before you have to blow into a straw to start your car? I don't know. I haven't had any DUIs.
Family member that's part of Homeland Security that's associated with the Bower Sox.
Oh, God, Meg, you're new? Oh, Jesus, Meg. Well, welcome. This is it's always, it's kind of like trial by fire here. Listen. Betty wants to make you cry. Betty wants to make everybody cry with her pretend authority and her rotted core. I just want to make you laugh. So I hope you've enjoyed I hope you're enjoying your time here.
So
do you not know where the mute button is?
This is serious. This is serious. This is something that I absolutely.
Betty, what you did to your hair was serious. Okay. But I don't see you talking about that. I mean, is your hair going to give us an explanation? I think we're all owed an explanation. I think you've traumatized all of YouTube with your various, stages of breakage. And now we've got the Betty. I mean, I'm looking at you right here, and you are reminding me of my grandfather when he was like 80 something. And he had liver spots on his head. Like you're getting the same widow's peak, except his hair was better, even though he only had like 5 strands. Oh my God, Betty. You are a boiling hot mess.
We believe we need to inform TBI, the state attorney.
Leave the fucking TBI alone, Betty. They, as well as the FBI, they hate you as well. I mean, what are you going? Are you on the Homeland Security? Are you on their watch list? ICE? How many alphabet agencies are left that you haven't like put on speed dial with your bullshit? I'm just curious. Oh my God.
And the FBI. And I think we need to, I'm going to be working on a letter.
That's a good idea.
To all of them. And it's going to be for those.
It's not even going to be opened. But if it does, it'll go right into the circular file.
Those that want to participate, I will try to find emails, but I think it's most impactful for mailing.
Yes. If you also want to look semi-illiterate, please, by all means, download my form letter that I have crafted with scissors and cut up pages out of a magazine. Please, by all means, add your name to the the gaggle of voices. Oh my God, Betty, you need to come back down to earth, girl, because you are clearly not in the same galaxy the rest of us are in. I'm trying to figure out, who do I want to be? Listen, I need to get an alter ego here because Betty gets away. It's working. Well, nothing works for her, but she's got people that believe this. So I need to think about who I'm going to become when I inhabit this chair.
For a physical mail. Because I feel like it's something about seeing thousands and thousands of pieces of mail.
You are fucking dreaming. Half the people in your chat probably can't afford a fucking stamp because they need to give you all their money.
that really drive home.
She's delusional. She is fucking delusional.
The concern. And so I would really prefer that people.
She would prefer.
How about internal affairs? We need to get a hold of them as well.
Internal affairs. Oh, Betty's getting all Hill Street Blues on us here. Internal affairs. Betty is bypassing the chain of command. Because she's too fucking dumb to find the chain of command. You go right to the top. We're gonna get internal affairs involved here. Yeah, Betty. Oh God, Betty. Yes, this is Betty's chat. Who, when discussing her last mailing campaign, her letter writing campaign. Thousands of letters were going to be directed to the president of the University of Idaho. In opposition to tearing down the house that the Idaho 4 were slain in. Yes, and someone in Betty's chat wanted to know, Betty, where should I send my letter? Should I send it to you and the governor of the state of Florida, or should I send it to Idaho? Ma'am, that would be Idaho. I was kind enough to help her out when I went live now. Oh, God. Oh, Betty. Betty.
Oh, we need to get a hold of them as well. Something is stinking to high heaven here, okay?
It's your upper lip.
You have a community that's scared half to death that a child disappeared from, and you shut off all communications back in March and have not spoke a word of it since. And they're condemning people actually work. They're putting the Proudfoots on this god awful pedestal. Okay, they most likely did something to this boy. He disappeared for 17 hours, and I find it awfully funny.
Betty, those teeth don't exactly look stable, so I would slow your roll on gritting those teeth that hard. Okay, Give him a rest.
That he most likely wasn't followed or tracked at all by any law enforcement when he disappeared for the 17 hours, even though they should have been under.
I'm telling you, Eileen Warnos never looked any more scary than Betty does right now. Betty, keep
investigation at that time.
Hold on. I need to find something.
Paying your bills on time raises your credit score, right? Wrong.
Betty,
in fact, this is one
Betty,
of the three.
I'm so glad I saw this ad. I can't believe I'm saying that. Betty, which is higher, your IQ or your FICO score?
And to come to find out that Chris asked the law enforcement for permission to leave, and they still didn't follow him. I'm
like, ma'am, why do you think? I don't understand why she doesn't understand how the law works, being the legal scholar that she is. Okay, let's see here. But carry on, Betty.
There are so many things that are just bothering me with this case and bothering me with the performance of law enforcement. And then we got Nick Barris saying, "Oh, they're doing everything they can." Nick. What experience do you have, Nick? What?
How about he's a real fucking journalist? What experience do you have? Being an asshole and a Karen, that doesn't count as a job, and it's not experience. Nick, do you own a Kevlar vest by any chance? Betty could be working on TRO number 4. God, Betty, you have like well and truly, you fucking lost it. I don't even know how else to put it.
What experience other than that community do you have in law enforcement?
What experience do you have in law enforcement? And getting arrested a whole bunch of times doesn't count. What? Do you hear yourself right now? I mean, Betty, I'm feeling like this is why I come in, Betty, this is why I do what I do. Somebody has got to point out to you that you're, well, I was going to say you're going off the ledge. You're there. I mean, Betty, you need to you need to log off, boo-boo.
I'm just curious because I literally have law enforcement from all over this country that I've watched, monitored, and
she had law enforcement all over this country that she's watched. Well, me too, Betty, and everybody else here. I mean, girl, my law enforcement days, they go all the way back to OJ driving. I mean, I monitored that situation for 2 hours on the fucking 101 and going through California. I don't even know if that's the interstate in California. Oh, US 1. Well, I know that's part of the freeway is at some point it's US 1. Oh, it goes all the way up to Carmel and Big Sur, San Simeon. Yeah, I don't ever see Betty and Big Sur. Oh, God. Oh, so Betty's been watching and monitoring law enforcement for years. Okay, let's let her continue.
I've seen the best of the best in law enforcement and the worst of the worst in law enforcement.
Were the worst by any chance the ones who were putting the silver handcuffs on you, the bracelet? Do you hear yourself? You just told a real journalist with a real press pass, not one that he made in an easy bake oven with some shrinky dinks. You just told him that you have been watching and monitoring law enforcement for years as one who watches TV. Does that make me? I think I'm your boss then, Betty, because I am much brighter than you. And I mean, all things being equal, well, nothing's equal with you and me, but if that's how we're measuring, if that's how we're defining being monitoring law enforcement, okay, well, then I'm your boss. You're fired.
So I'm curious. So I'm going to hit back. Because no, we're not going to sit
He
here
likes
and
to
listen
hit
to Nick
back.
Barris say that Chris and Katie aren't suspects in the disappearance of the son that disappeared from their house.
Well, when
that
were
was
they
locked.
declared suspects? Have I missed something? My understanding is all 3 parents have not been named as suspects. What am I missing?
And Katie was the only one inside of it. And there's no proof that that boy walked
Betty
out.
is the law, and what she said.
I don't know what kind of crap
And
Nick
this
Barris
is the word of the bull skank. Oh, Betty. Oh, Betty. It's a good thing I still have a lot of clothes left.
is pulling.
For anybody who has no idea what I'm talking about, one of the things I say is the reason I have this channel is because I got a little bit of time on my hands. I got a good internet connection, and I got a whole lot of clothes I want to wear. So that, when I keep saying when I run out of clothes is when I'm done. Carry on, Betty.
That's dangerous.
You're dangerous.
That's dangerous. Dangerous.
Ooh,
so he can call me
dangerous.
a armchair detective, which I'm not. I actually went out there and did investigative reporting work, boots on the ground.
She is not an armchair detective. She is a Sketcher shape-up detective. Oh my God. Betty is not just an armchair asshole. She's a real life asshole. Oh my God, Betty, you are too much. Betty, I can't.
Like him that just picks up a phone and calls Eric, his buddy, for a comment. Hey, Nick, knock, Nick. Why don't you get off your ass and go out there and actually ask questions to people? Why don't you do some investigative reporting?
Why don't you learn how to write and speak in proper English and use the big words and then call yourself a journalist? There's only one person I hear that cannot use the big words that really are not that big. Oh my goodness, you guys, it is so late. I did not realize. Good Lord. Time flies when you're bettying, which is not the same thing as having fun. Although we make her fun. Yes, we do. It's the only way to make Betty fun. I am the only Savage makes her quite a bit of fun as well. I know it makes you guys sad to see Betty go bye-bye. Oh God. Boof. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if it was that easy? Just hit that little X and bye-bye. Bye-bye, Betty. Wow. You guys, she is truly like off the fucking chain. She is. All joking aside, is it just me or is she getting more unhinged and more delusional sounding as the days go by? I mean, I think we are watching some kind of an event, much like the opening ceremony of the Olympics. It's an event. Oh, I need to take this call. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I'm going to call. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to return that call. Give me 1 second. Let me just text. Hey, I'll call you back in just a minute. I love you. XOXO. Okay. I was looking for, the clock on my monitors is wrong. That's a lot of my problem here. Why I don't know what time it is or what day it is. I do know it's Monday. So let's say, think of all the fun we're going to have when we meet again, which could be, there's a very slight possibility of tomorrow. I say it's much like the Magic 8 Ball says, it's future hazy, something about not sure, ask again later. It'll either be tomorrow late in the afternoon, but I'm thinking that's not going to happen. I'd say look for Wednesday and earlier on Wednesday, because I'm leaving in the afternoon. And if neither one of those happens, it will be Saturday. And just think of all the cuckoo for Cocoa Puff shit that is likely going to go on between now and then. I know you guys will keep me in the loop. Thanks for hanging out with me. And for anybody who was new, well, welcome and thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you had a good time. I just want to make you laugh. Go to Betty wants to make you cry. I want to make you laugh. All right, pussycats. You guys have a good day. And I will see you. I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.